video game that we play on the tabletop.
Yep.
Usually weekly, sometimes we take breaks. But we're here now, and that's what's important, I think.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
So, last week, you guys had more fun adventures in Clear Haven.
Yeah, we did.
Did some poking around, explored a mansion, tripped the burglar alarm on the mansion, ran away. It was all good and fun. So now 3 of you are chilling out and just got a message from Reese that was responded to by Tomas asking how to respond to it. And 3 of you are currently inside the temple. Not the temple. The
Gilded Opera House.
The Gilded Opera House, after having gotten there from a secret passageway on the far side of town. So, unless anybody has any questions, we will start off with those that are poking around inside of the Opera House.
Groovy.
What would you guys like to do?
Well, since they're here, Reeves is going to just canvass the backstage area first, just to make sure that they're actually alone.
All right. Roll me a stealth check and a perception check.
Let's see, stealth is 23. So, not 20 on stealth.
All right. So Reeves slinks out of the room and you hear no noise.
And a 30 on perception.
All right. Right, passive stealth. So you poke around and it doesn't look like anybody else is here as far as you can tell. Most of the lanterns around the place have been turned off. So it's aside from a couple of windows, which you can faintly see by poking through the curtains real quick at the front end of the theater. It looks like most of this area is pretty pitch black, other than like the faintest of outlines of shapes. But due to you having dark vision, you don't really have much of an issue with it.
Okay. Once the backstage has been seen to, yeah, he's just gonna work his way around. Check these rooms and everything.
All right. And what do you two want to do while Reeves is out? Wolf and Reese, specifically.
I muted myself. Reese wants to check these rooms down here. Are these dressing rooms?
Are you doing this stealthily?
Yeah, I guess I should.
Stealth and perception, and then I'll let you know.
Okay. This music's so happy.
Yeah.
I thought I rolled the nat 1 and I was like and then perception. It's kind of funny that my perception is now higher than my stealth.
Alright. So, Reese, you can faintly hear creaks on the far side of the building, Reeves, but otherwise, the only thing that breaks the silence is the sound of Wolf misjudging the door frame as he goes to head out, and you just hear the sound of one of his armor panels just ding off the door frame.
He's just under his breath quietly is like, Wolf!
Reeves cringes.
Wolf realizes that he will have to turn sideways to get through these tiny elf doors.
Nice.
You guys
Well done.
pause for a second, none of you hear anything moving around the building except you guys after a moment.
Okay.
So, Reeves, you poke your head in there. Those appear to be stalled latrines of some sort. It looks like they have several stored in the back of several tucked away in the back of the building, and each of them is protected by a screen that can be opened or closed.
Mm-hmm.
Then there is another wardrobe room opposite of the one you guys arrived in, and then a series of a large changing room and then a smaller changing room.
Okay, so pretty symmetrical.
Yep, similar to you, Reese. You see 3 changing rooms to the south and west.
Do I recognize any of the changing rooms?
Roll me a will save.
Oh no. $38.
So, similar to before, a headache before it pulls back, and as you're looking around, this room feels faintly familiar, but you don't recognize any of the setups to it.
Okay.
At least
Reese
not in memory that you can recall directly.
Okay. Reese is gonna kind of try and look around the room, see if there's anything weird or anything that jogs a memory.
Give me a perception check to thoroughly search the room.
My favorite.
So while Reese is poking around, now that you're in the hallway, Wolf, what would you like to do?
Reese has searched this room. Have you touched this room?
Reese peeked into the rooms. He hasn't thoroughly searched them. He's thoroughly searching the one he's in.
Okay, Wolf will search this one thoroughly then.
Alright, give me a perception check. Alright. And while they're searching, Reeves, what would you like to do?
Okay. No, I don't think he'll search these rooms necessarily. I think he's more concerned about just trying to find things that might be out of place in like a venue such as this, like any sort of odd sort of architecture or anything like that. But once he's done back here, he's just gonna wander on the stage to see what they have set up.
So what you see is a fairly common setup for some of the more wealthy theaters. Large, heavy-set curtains, a series of pulleys and counterweights, a bunch of supplies, backdrops, and other items that they would need quick access to are tucked to the side of the stage out of sight, but readily available for stagehands to grab. If you want to look for anything specifically, I'll need a perception check.
Okay. Just a 20.
Alright. And are you trying to look for anything specific?
Trapdoors, things like that.
So, about here-ish, you notice that some of the panels in the floor are a bit looser than the others, like there's more of a gap between them and the nearby floorboards. Enough that you could probably almost wedge one of your fingers through if you tried really hard.
I think he'll try to do that.
So you manage to get your finger through the gap, and it's only about a floorboard in depth. But you can't really feel anything from there. It's hard to get a good grip of what's going on there, from where your hand currently is.
So there's no way to kind of lift it or anything. It's just like a gap in the floorboard.
From what you can tell from here, yeah.
Okay.
It jostles like slightly when you pull your hand out, but not enough that walking over it would cause any issue.
Oh, okay.
It's the gesture of you pulling up and causing friction, like shifts it ever so slightly.
So can you determine if that's just an oddity with the floor itself, or not really anything else?
Give
to
me a
look-
lore check.
$28.
With your background and performance, you think on it for a moment and have a rough idea. This might be a drop-away floor that they use for performances. There's probably some cushioning underneath here for certain performances that allows them to drop the floor out from underneath an actor so they can disappear through the floor if needed.
Oh, I see. In that case, he's going to look for a mechanism to activate that.
Alright, give me a perception check, and we will move on to the others.
23.
Alright. Excuse me. So, Reese. As you look over the room, you can see that there's a couple of costumes set up in the corner where you enter. It looks like they were recently washed and put aside here. Probably some of the costumes used by the actors that were performing today. And looking around the table itself, you can see a couple of devices for applying makeup and other facial prosthetics, but nothing terribly out of the ordinary.
Do the mirrors look normal?
The mirrors do look normal, but they do not resemble the style you saw during your dream after when the spooky man came out and gave you a throat hug.
Uh-huh. Can Reese, like, slide his hand underneath either of the tables to see if there's any, like, switches or anything? Anything weird?
Sure. You run your hand underneath the surface, but you don't find anything out of place.
Okay.
Wolf. You poke around the room for a bit. Let us check some. While poking around the room, you find a bunch of makeup applicators, some costumes, and other such devices scattered about the room. The only thing that really sticks out to you as a bit of an oddity is it looks like a small feather, that of maybe nature check.
Huh. Oh. Jesus Christ.
definitely a bird. It's hard to tell which kind, though.
We're doing great tonight, guys.
You know crows. It isn't a crow. Or a raven. You're pretty sure ravens are similar to crows. Both blackbirds. But it's definitely not that.
Okay, I guess we'll just take it.
Alright. So Wolf, add feather from dressing room to your inventory.
Wolf, why do you have this feather? It seems really important. It's a feather, Wolf.
I'm getting Black Swan vibes right now. I don't like it.
Yeah. You guys don't really find anything. Everything seems completely neat and orderly.
Reese just kind of comes out of the room and sighs. He's like, I don't know if we're gonna find anything here.
Alright. And was that 23 your search roll to find the mechanism?
Yeah, he's looking for like an array of levers or anything like that.
Yeah, being somewhat familiar with these setups, you go and check either side near the sandbag controls, and find a latch unconnected to them that seems to be... sorry. That seems to currently be in the upright position, and instead of leading up towards the ceiling, it seems to go down into the ground.
Alright, he's gonna throw the switch and see what happens.
You throw the switch, and with a the panel on the floor drops out.
Excellent. And with that, he's gonna go find his friends.
All right.
Hello.
Hello. Well, I hope you had better luck than we did.
Seems like a pretty standard stage to me, if a bit larger. I found one of their dropout doors on the stage. Gonna take a poke down there. I'm wondering if you guys could stay on the stage in case I start screaming bloody murder.
Yeah. I did find a room that I recognized. Well, that felt familiar, but I didn't find anything in it.
You get the headaches again?
Yeah.
Hmm. Know what it all means?
Nope.
Well, I'm just gonna check beneath the stage and just to see if there's anything out of place or whatever. But if the place seems above board, then really no reason to really kind of turn it upside down, you know.
Yeah. Well, I guess we should just keep watch then, Wolf.
Works for me.
How deep is the drop?
I'd say it's probably about a 6 or 7 foot drop, just big enough that your average height individual would be able to drop onto the cushions they've laid out below without obliterating a body part, and big enough that you won't have your head poking out the top when you fall.
That makes sense. Okay. Get a bit of rope ready just in case. But should be fine. And he's just gonna drop through.
Alright. So, you hit the cushions with a thump. And dust yourself off, and you are currently underneath the stage. It appears to be pretty well cleaned and maintained. They have a couple storage items down there. And then you see a ladder on either side of the stage with what you assume is a push latch underneath it, so you can get your way back out.
Okay.
You do know that you're not going to be able to redo the floor hole that you just dropped back through. Will have to be closed manually from this side.
Oh, from where I am.
Yes, you have to pop it back up.
Oh, I see. Well, that's not happening.
Hey, Wolf, do you have rope?
Oh, does Wolf have rope?
Reese doesn't have rope.
You wanna know who had rope before somebody cut it up?
It's a stage. There's got to be rope for curtains and stuff.
Yeah, it's currently being used to hold up the curtains and the sandbags.
Wolf doesn't have rope.
Let's not tell Reeps that.
Might make fun of us.
Now, is there
Uh,
enough rope to make use of with the curtains, or would us cutting the curtains down not?
I'm sure we could like reach down there and get him.
Oh right, these places have like ladders for the people to climb up out of. I'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. He's fine.
All right. Reeves is just gonna rummage around the storage items and just try and look around to see if there's anything out of place.
Mm-hmm. All right, give me a perception check.
26.
Alright. You poke around for a bit, and unfortunately you don't find anything of terrible note. This all seems like pretty standard supplies.
Okay. Do you notice anything with like the walls, the floor, or anything like that?
How so?
He just figured if there was like one secret passage getting into here, there might be others.
So you're trying to specifically look for secret passages?
Yeah.
Give me a perception check. If you try to look more thoroughly for secret passages, it could take a while. Like
Okay.
up to half an hour to an hour, depending on how thorough you're being. So let me know how much time you want to spend, and I will give you the appropriate modifier.
Let's see. I think he'll spend probably 10 to 15 minutes.
Alright. So you poke around for a bit. And after a little bit of work, towards the end of your search, your eyes notice that one of the back walls towards where the stairs are over here, towards the front of this, like, underneath the stage area that you're currently in, one of the walls doesn't look quite right from the angle you're standing at. And as you go to approach it, you realize that the wall doesn't end here.
Oh.
It ends slightly further over here. And there are there's a narrow side passage hidden behind some of the supplies that runs this entire length.
Okay. I think he's just gonna poke in there to see what's up.
So, hidden much more neatly underneath the floorboards here, there appears to be a hatch in the floor that lines up perfectly with the nearby area, and the rug is just plush enough that it isn't noticeable as you pop the top off and end up in one of the boxes.
Probably this one.
Yes.
Boink. Oh, fancy.
And
He's
you
gonna-
also notice that the latches on them are greased to the point where they are silent as you're opening them.
Mm. Very interesting. He's gonna gently push it back in place and lean over the railing.
Yep.
Hello.
Ugh, Jesus. Who is that? No one knows. Well, I see you found your way out.
Yeah. I wonder if there's another latch on the other side, but aside from there being secret passages and all that, I didn't really find anything untoward beneath the stage.
A secret passage like that wouldn't be normal, right, Matt?
Not to these private booths. Those are usually pretty locked down.
Might be good to check the other side, Reeves, see if they're there as well. That's not normal.
He thinks on that a bit and kind of cants his head from back to side, nods to himself, and disappears back through the latch and tries to find the same setup over here.
Yep. Similar hide up, similar get up, but you are able to find a small gap in the wall and slip through, and you find two more passageways leading up.
Oh, wow. Okay. And with that, he's going to use one of the latches beneath the stage to get back up and join his friends. Boink.
Well, that's interesting, though not really to what we're doing.
Not exactly nefarious, but could be.
It's a little nefarious.
There'd be no theatrical reason to kind of cordon off those boxes or anything for like dramatic effect.
Eh. Maybe. The number one thing that comes to my mind is assassination.
I mean, if that took place in a place like this, even once, you'd think they would just tear the place apart.
Maybe.
Like, I don't know, would you really want to go to a theater that had people die in it?
Yes.
You're not here, Tomas.
He just sighs and kind of looks out at the rest of the building. Does it seem familiar, or does it look like it's changed from what was in his dream?
It looks exactly the same as in your dream.
He just kind of sighs and shakes his head. He's like, well, aside from that one room, I've got nothing. And I don't think we're going to find what we're looking for in here.
In what you told the party, Did Reese say about switching in like within the crowd, right?
No.
No? Okay.
I'm sorry, my character has issues.
Okay.
How dare he?
God, yeah, nobody else's characters has issues. God, fuck you.
I
Okay.
feel bad withholding information.
Okay.
So, here's a great question.
Hmm.
How are we going to get out of here?
Good question. First off, we need to close that, and I'm too short.
I can do it. Reese will hop down.
Reese hops down, closes it.
And then I'm guessing I have to come up through one of the sideways, right?
Mm-hmm.
Easy enough.
Well, we can go back the way we came and take our chances with the side passages, or we could just either find a back door or the front door.
The guards might be preoccupied with the commotion we caused back by the manors, but I really don't want to waste time going back there.
Fair enough. Did Reeves come across any back doors, or was it just these windows?
These are double back doors.
Okay.
And these are side exit doors. The only windows are in the front of the building.
Okay. Well, in that case, well, let's try our luck with one of the side doors.
Okay. Try to be quieter this time, Wolf. And Reese will just gently wrap him on one of his heavy metal pauldrons.
You made Wolf look dead inside.
Alright, Reeves is going to check to see if he can hear anything outside.
Perception check.
Hero point. There we go.
You do not hear anything outside except for something in the far, far distance.
Okay. In that case, he is going to unlock the door, if it is locked.
It is locked.
Okay. He'll unlock it and let themselves out. Actually, he's going to see if it's wired in any specific way for any alarms or anything like that.
Good call. Do you want me to make the check or you?
Yeah, let's just do trap finding.
Okay. And what is your perception modifier? 18?
Plus 18, yep. And I think my trap finding gives me a bonus.
I believe so. It's like a +1 or 2, if I recall correctly.
Plus 1 to perception checks to find traps.
Yep. So as you go to unlock the door, your body instinctively goes to check to where you had seen the runes at the mansion, and you find a similar setup all around the edge of the door.
Reaps eyes and says, same deal as at the mansion.
Okay, hold on. Reese, not wanting a repeat of what happened at the mansion, is going to take a look at the runes.
Alright. Give me an occult check.
Aw, you don't want another yakety sax chase?
No.
Reese is like, it's fucking midnight, I want to go to bed.
I'm going to hero point that. There we go.
So, you have a good idea of what these are after giving them a quick look over and what happened at the mansion, because you know you disabled it at the mansion, and you realize what happened now. these have an active and a passive system in them. So you can disable it now, but every 5 to 10 minutes, it'll check if the system is down, and if it does, it resets the system and sends an anonymous ping to whatever nearby authority that has been configured to send that information to.
Any
so
way
once
to
you get out
bypass
of
it?
here, you might try to carefully suppress the runes for a brief period of time, rather than just disabling the spell completely. You would need to be quick, though.
All right, Reeves, Wolf, get close.
Hi.
So I'm gonna try and not completely disable the rooms, but we need to be fast.
Okie dokie.
Oh wait, I can't. I don't have Dispel Magic.
Yikes, dude.
I used my slots on making people invisible.
That's an oof.
So I can't do that.
Okay. Can
It's
you
either-
just... Well, in that case, our best bet would be either take a chance with the side tunnels, or you could just short circuit it now, cause a little bit of confusion for the authorities later, but
I
we'll
can't
just...
turn it off
Like at all?
either. No, I don't have
Oh.
Dispel Magic.
Well,
I suppose we could scratch it out the normal way. Would Reese be able to tell how to disable the runes?
You could give Reeb some pointers onto his disable device check.
Okay. Reese will do that. Note that when we do this, we'll have about 5 minutes before they come looking for us. We need to be gone.
sounds good.
Alright. Reese, give me a occult check.
I keep forgetting what my occultism is.
19.
No, it is.
Alright. Yep. So Reese gives you some quick pointers, and you quickly scratch out some of the runes disrupting the flow of the spell, and you see it sizzle out. Then I need you to make a lockpick check. Alright. And you quickly jam skeleton key in, pop the door lock, and get the door open and start slinking outside. Are you keeping the door open behind you?
No, we're gonna lock it back.
Alright. So once you're through to the other side, you slip skeleton key back in and just do the reverse, now that you already have the lock in place. And
Excellent.
you start slinking away into the night.
Let's slink around the back and get as far away from here as possible, as quietly as possible.
Read my mind.
I'm gonna make a stealth check. Knowing
good
my rolls
idea.
tonight.
All you
probably
make
not-
stealth checks.
Oh, hey!
Hell yeah.
Oh no.
32.
The fact that yours is only 3 less than mine when I rolled a nat 20.
Wolf's trying.
He can just follow
He
the
gets follow
expert.
the expert, yeah. So that's another 10 plus 2. So 24, not bad. So you get a little coaching from Reeves and Reese, and the three of you are able to disappear before any authorities arrive.
I'm guessing we're heading back to the inn.
I don't know what you guys. I don't remember what you guys discussed with the other three that were waiting to meet back up with you.
I don't know what we discussed either.
We didn't discuss anything. No,
I-
like the message ended.
Yeah,
We got this guy.
Tomas did not respond to me.
Can you
Well,
do that
he-
again?
as soon as Tomas got that message, he would have started going towards the theater.
Oh
Can you message them again?
yes, I can do
Or-
it one more time.
Okay, let's just meet at the end then.
All right. Reese is gonna send a message to Lana
Mm-hmm.
and say, Lana, we've gotten out of the theater. We're heading back to the inn.
Got it. Meet you there. And she'll just kind of reach out and like grab Tomas by the shoulder and be like, "Okay, we're not going that way anymore."
How far would
Mark-
they have gotten though?
You guys would have gotten probably to the start of the entertainment district, maybe a little deeper in, but not to the theater yet.
Lassa squint at Lana. He's like, "The fuck you talking about?"
Got a message from our friend. They're waiting for us at the inn, not the pavilion.
I don't like the splitting the party thing.
It didn't happen on purpose.
I'm just saying. He's just gonna huff and turn around.
Oh. We were split the entire start of our adventure. Well, they're fine.
Don't.
And thus you guys are able to meet back up at the inn.
And it's super late, right?
Yeah, it's super ass late.
So who would get there first?
Probably them.
Them.
Yeah, because we're just turning around.
When Reese gets there, he's gonna see them and kind of sigh and be like, "You know, I think we probably need to change your hair color again, Mika."
That probably couldn't hurt. Maybe just go back to the original color. I don't know.
How about black? That's a good one.
You're the expert. You can do whatever. No, definitely a white-haired dwarf getting chased through the streets is gonna make the rounds. That's for sure.
Yeah. Reese will change Mika's hair real quick.
Alright.
And real quick, I mean in 10 minutes.
You guys want to do anything else before heading to bed?
I don't know. I think that about covers the long and short of it.
Reese, as he's doing Mika's hair, will just quietly say, "So, nothing of note in the theater, just another dead end."
Hang on. Alright, guys. I'm just gonna give you the headline on this one. Report. Trump plans to barricade himself in the Oval Office and refuse to come out if Biden wins.
Seriously.
Is this actual headline or
That's
not
an
the
act-
Onion?
That's an actual headline, dude.
Oh my goodness.
I can't even.
If fucking special forces has to break through the windows to like fucking get him out of there, I'm here for it.
I find that mental image really funny. Carry on.
Alright. So, after a night of adventure, you guys call it for the night and head up to your rooms to sleep.
Mika
So-
tucks her knight's clothes away in the bottom of the pack, not to be seen again for this trip.
Alright. So I have two important questions for people.
Mhm.
First, since you guys have arrived, is there anybody that hasn't eaten any sweets or consumed any alcohol?
Me.
You don't even need to say anything, Fit.
Reeves had a Danish.
Yeah,
That
Tomas
he
had a
did.
Danish.
And Wolf had a Danish.
Mika did not have a Danish. I think we had drunk.
You
we
had
drank the
stout a
first night
couple
though.
times.
Yeah, we had to drink. So.
Sweats.
Uh oh.
Just making sure.
Oh my god.
Alright. And what time do people normally get up?
Very early.
Early-ish.
Nah.
Tomas' sleeping hours are usually about 2 to 4.
Mika's been usually keeping the late watch and then sleeping a bit. I'm not sure if she's been doing watch for this.
Reese
They're
likes his
not.
beauty sleep.
Yep. So, if that's the case, I need Mika, Tomas, and Reebs to make me fortitude saves.
Fortitude saves.
Alright. Fortitude.
Did you know I'm really fortitude?
Sorry,
enough?
will saves.
Oh, will. Okay.
Ooh.
That's better than my fortitude, man.
I'd rather have the fortitude. 29.
29.
38.
Jesus fucking Christ.
That's 19 plus 19 is 38, right?
Uh-huh.
That'll
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
So, Lana, you still
Mhm.
get up early. And Tomas joins you is up before you like usual because that cryptid might as well not sleep as far as you're aware. You're
Mhm.
kind of surprised that Mika and Reebs are a little slow rising today, but you guys did have a big adventure last night. They might be a little tuckered out.
Yeah.
So what are you two doing early in the morning as the inn is first opening up?
Are there any like open spaces where Lana can kind of go through her morning exercises or anything like that? Because it's a pretty crowded city, right? There's probably no like parks or like.
Not really, no.
Okay. In that case, she's probably just kind of hanging out at one of the tables, kind of finishing up her morning meditations. Standing up to maybe like do some squats and stuff, and just like, I wonder where they're at. That's a little weird, isn't it?
Maybe Mika finally fucking got some sleep. That's the weird bit.
That's the weird bit, but it's good for him. Gotta get your sleep.
So, as you two are having quiet conversation and contemplating if you're going to get breakfast this morning, Tomas, you let out a yawn, still feeling a little tired from your short rest. And the pair of you notice a pair of silver knights enter the building and head up towards the counter to begin talking to the barkeep.
Lana is going to sit down and try to wiggle herself right into overhearing range.
Roll me a stealth check and then a perception check.
All right.
Tomas is probably gonna do the same, honestly.
Stealth
Oh,
and perception is this one. Okay.
35 and 32.
alright. So they don't seem to pay you too much heed. One of them, they seem focused on the bartender at the moment, and you faintly pick up the conversation. It cuts in with as you finally get close enough to start hearing. We have reason to believe that those individuals may have some information that is important to Bressian intelligence. Do you have spare keys for their rooms? We'd like to ask them some questions.
And they're not paying attention to Lana, right?
One of them is starting to scan the room.
As soon as she can, Lana is going to kind of slip, like probably just like under the table or just out of eyesight, and pop up her hood and then rush upstairs.
Mhm.
And she's gonna send a message to Tomas, being like, "I'm gonna get the others up. Time for us to leave."
Yeah, I don't have your sneakiness, so I'm gonna go hide outside real quick.
Yeah. So she pops up the hood, she goes invisible, and she goes upstairs to get the others up.
Alright. How are you trying to get them up?
She is going to start by knocking on each of their doors. and if they don't answer, we'll go from there.
All right. How quietly are you knocking on their doors?
Um,
Because you're just like a level above the bar.
definitely not trying to make too much noise right away. As the situation degrades, she'll get louder as she goes. But for now, just like modest reps. She'll also check the doorknobs to see if anyone left their doors unlocked.
All right. Did anybody leave their doors unlocked?
Reeb certainly didn't.
Reese would because of a certain someone.
Hi.
Honestly don't know if Mika would have or not.
That's literally the only reason, though.
I'll take it.
I don't think Wolf would. He isn't really scared of someone sneaking in.
Yeah, I'm not sure Mika would either, just in case one of the party needed to grab her for something.
He just Turok someone if they came in his room.
Fair. So, one or two of the doors appears locked, but you are able to get into Reese, Mika, and Wolf's rooms.
Okay, perfect.
They are pretty heavily asleep.
Lana will definitely just, reach over and just kind of shake him, kind of give him like a little slap if needed. But it's like, get up
But-
now, Silver Knights.
but don't-
Who are you doing this to?
I'm just gonna roll a fucking. You said it was Reese, Mika, and Wolf's rooms.
Yes.
Let's just roll a fucking.
Matt, if he rolls me, don't be afraid to go ham.
It's Reese.
Reese, make me a will saving throw.
Okay. $37.
So you jostle Reese around for a bit, and he doesn't seem to be moving much. And he kind of just rolls over and goes, "Not now, Thomas."
My hero.
But a firm Lana slap on the cheek suddenly snaps him awake.
Ow! Ow! Lana!
We need you up right now, Silver Knights. Send me in.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Get the others up. I'll go check the others. I'll start with Mika. You go get Wolf.
Okay.
And then Reeves' door is locked, so we'll deal with him in a second.
So, Tomas,
Yeah.
roll me a stealth check to slip outside unseen.
Matt.
Yeah?
Fuck.
Yep. So,
Oh
You-
no.
Oh, honey.
So, Tomas, you see the other two at the counter, and time as the guard is looking the other way and go to slip out through the door. And as you're looking over your shoulder, you walk out, turn around, and your shoulder clips into the armor of one of the two guards standing watch over the entrance of the building.
Rip.
Oh no!
Pepperonis.
Uh, The guard just looks down at you, looks over your face for a moment, and they both just turn to look down at you and say, "Apologies, sir, but unfortunately we have belief that there are some," and they look over your face again, "individuals that are involved with some unscrupulous activities last night that we need to have a word with. Could we see your documents?"
I have mine.
Reese gave them all out to everybody.
The question is, would you have brought them downstairs?
No. Why would I have brought them downstairs? Tomas is gonna squint at him. It's like he's gonna play up being like really tired because it's o'clock in the morning, right?
It's early-ish.
Yeah, it's like, oh shit. No, I'm sorry, guys. It's so early in the morning. My apologies. They're in my room. I can go get them for you if you'd like.
That would be appreciated. I'll accompany you, sir. And the other one nods to him, and he gestures for you to lead the way.
Okay.
Tomas and Reeves were sharing a room.
Yep.
Oh dear.
Oh boy.
I mean, technically, Reeves, Wolf, and Reese aren't in trouble.
Yeah?
Wait, no, I have a question though.
Mm-hmm.
Would I wouldn't look like I did the day before though, because I slept, wouldn't I? Oh no, Reese only changed my hair, didn't he?
Yep.
Fuck. Well,
Mika doesn't look the same though.
Nope. Fix me right away.
hold on. Matt, how many of the Silver Knights are in the inn?
There's currently 2 at the counter, one of which is now looking at you, and there are 2 by the entrance. You can see several others outside the building, blocking the street.
Okay. The only exit is that main door where there's 2 of them.
There's also a back door through the kitchen.
You said there's a shit ton outside.
You see at least 6 outside the building, and counting the one that's about to follow you in.
Is this a smart Tomas moment, or is Tomas do a dumb fuck move moment?
What?
He's just gonna go upstairs.
Alright, which room were the papers in?
I have a question. Is there like a doorway to upstairs that like separates off the area with, like all the rooms and all that jazz?
It's a stairway leading into like an overhanging balcony, and all the doors are on one wall.
Okay.
So you would have to walk by a couple of their rooms to get to yours, probably.
Tomas is going to go to the wrong door. To just some stranger's door and start fumbling with his key and trying to get it in. Cause, like, Lana's, cause he knows Lana went like invisible and shit, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so he's just gonna start fumbling with the key in the wrong door. And just play up being dumb and tired.
Alright. Roll me a deception check.
Oh, that's not so bad. 28. No, not 28. 31.
Okay. Let me check something. What is that against?
Is the key marked with a room number on it?
Oh, it very much is.
Tomas is just tired. Quote unquote.
Tomas is trying his best, okay?
Hey, he didn't just immediately run, so like...
I know exactly how Reeves is going to play this, and it's going to be hilarious.
The question is, will Tomas make it devolve into yakety sax before Reeves gets a chance?
He's trying very hard not to.
Go to our actual room then!
He's trying to like... So let Lana can come and see. He's trying, man.
The question is are his documents in Reese's room or are they in Reebs's room?
They're in Reeves' room.
Okay.
It's
Because
our
he-
room.
Yeah. Because
That's
he
fair.
was he was trying to be good in that his servant. He might have snuck out a few times, but his shit's still there.
What'd you say the roll was, Stam?
31.
Okay. So we'll get back to you in a second.
Okay.
So Lana, you hear the sounds of tiny little elf tippy taps, followed by dunk, 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 slowly up the stairs, and the jangling of plate.
Who hears this?
Lana and Reese.
Okay. Reese is gonna slip into Wolf's room and gently close the door behind him.
To do so, you would need to slip into the hallway that the knight and Tomas are currently in. I would need a stealth check.
Oh gosh. Sure. Let's see here. I have to remember my stealth modifier.
Fair.
There we go. Boy howdy. He's gonna try and be as natural as possible while also being quiet.
Does that mean a deception check too?
So while Reese is moving across the hallway, Lana is what in the hallway they're in? Is there like a window or anything?
There's a hallway behind the knight at the far side, and there's also a window in each room.
Okay. She is going to just cast ghost sound from her hood again and just have like the sound of like a bird hitting the window, just to maybe pull his gaze away from Reese.
Okay, I need you to make a deception check.
Oh boy.
Also, let me check something.
There you go. Just to help.
Be aware, casting ghost sound does have a verbal component.
What would the verbal component consist of? Just like, cause I know you have to like say something like at room volume.
Yeah, you have to say the arcane words at room volume.
That's a little tricky then.
Yeah.
In that case, she won't be able to do that. Sorry, Reese.
That's okay.
Yeah, you have. It's a cool spell, but to use it for like stealth distractions like that, you have to have something to hide your voice behind, essentially, or some fancy tricks.
Yeah, that's valid. That's valid.
Otherwise, that solves a lot of fucking problems for a cantrip.
That's valid.
Baby boy, you can't sleep on my laptop keyboard.
Why not?
Aw.
Alright. So what are you doing, Lana?
Instead of doing that, she'll just kind of dart her way towards Mika's room, and I guess we'll just turn that 10 into an 18 and use that for the stealth roll, probably? Just the modifier?
Work. 31.
Yeah, because I already rolled the dice, so I figured might as well keep it, unless you don't want me to.
No, that'll work. Okay. And Reese, we'll go with you sneaking, and then we'll go with this scenario on how to handle things.
Okay.
So, in this cascade of events, as you're trying to make the check, the guard just looks at your key real quick, and then up at you, Tomas, and goes, "Is there a problem, sir?"
That doesn't fucking fit, man. Oh,
That's because it's not your room, sir.
He's looking. He's like, "Fuck, no, God, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just fucking wrong. Okay, hold on." He's gonna start shimmying his way to the other room.
So as he goes to move, he turns and he just barely misses Lana. But he just sees Reese like trying to like tippy toe get towards Wolf's room, and he just locks eyes with you two, Reese.
Reese
And
is just going to
says,
smile at him.
"Give me a performance check."
Is this deception or just general performance?
Deception.
Just a white knight looking at it, or silver knight?
Yes.
Yeah, deception. Yeah, deception.
Good morning, sir. I'm sorry to have disturbed you, but we have reason to believe that some unscrupulous individuals are in this building. While I'm accompanying this man to his room to check his documents, could you make sure that you and anybody else in your room procure theirs? I'll be coming to your room shortly to confirm your identity.
Oh, of course, of course. Reese is gonna smile at him and then give Tomas a look, and then go to wake up Wolf.
Alright. So he starts following you, Tomas, as Reese and Lana get into their respective rooms. And he escorts you right up to the door you're supposed to be at.
Yeah, the last gotta unlock it.
So inside, he sees Reeves on the floor. Was Reeves using makeup?
Yep.
So he sees this green and flesh-colored blotched mess rolling back and forth on the mattress.
Fuck.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Do my documents specifically say I'm a halfling?
Yes. Because that's the identity you crafted with OSEC.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
Boys, we're fucked.
Is something wrong with your companion?
So I was just gonna stand there staring at. He's like, "Man, this morning's so fucking weird. I don't know anymore. What the fuck happened to Underfoot?"
That's a good question. We can wake him up and I'll ask him once I'm done checking your documents.
Okay, yeah. Tomas is gonna go to like his bag and dig out his documents then, and hand them over.
So he's just going to start looking over the documents and then back up to you. I see. You're in Farrell, local noble, coming here on a business trip with your friends.
Yeah, that sounds alright.
Did you notice any odd activity last night, ERL?
I mean, I heard all those alarms, but that's about it.
I no longer know how Reeves is going to play this.
So, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, Mr. Farrell.
It's Enel, by the way. Like, you have my document right there, sir.
And Tomas is gonna die.
His name is Farron Enerel. I'm sorry, that's what my notes say.
I know, I was trying to see if you were gonna keep responding to the wrong name. He was calling you on fucking purpose. Oh, good, so you do remember your name, sir.
God, hope so. I've had it for a few years.
I see, I see. And roll me a deception check as you're talking with this man.
Pretty sure that's a 27. Yeah, it's a 27.
You feel his eyes staring at you unblinking from underneath the visor. He says, good, good. I have some questions for you still, but would you mind waking your companion up?
Whistles.
I want to make sure he's not in any medical emergency.
Yeah, that'd probably be good. I don't think I've ever seen him so green. He's gonna lean down and just shake Reeves. Be like, hey, Underfoot, wake up.
Roll me a will saving throw again, Reeves.
Also, I put
23.
everybody's name in the chat because I'm helpful.
She's like, man, I know your fucking game, fuck you. So with a bit of coaxing, eventually, Reeves, you are shaken awake by Tomas.
And like, I feel like Tomas has his back to the night and like shaking Reeves awake, and he's just got the most like freaked out look on his face. Like, Reeves, this is bad, Reeves.
So,
Kind of face.
while Reeves is waking up and contemplating what to do with his life, Reese, I believe you're in the room with one of your friends. They're asleep. Passed the
I'm
fuck
gonna-
out, actually.
I'm gonna try and shake Wolf awake and be like, Throgdot.
Will saving throw, baby.
God.
Alright. So after a little bit of coaxing, you jostle Throgdot awake.
Reese is gonna lean in real close and be like, your name is Throgdot. There are silver knights here. Act normal.
All you're gonna hear is a big sigh from Wolf, and he's gonna go, Throgdot.
There you go. That's the spirit. He's gonna gently smack his cheek.
So now Wolf wakes up without his armor on. That's a fun experience. The
Very
enemy's
rare
there.
for you guys to see armorless Wolf, by the way.
Reese has seen it plenty of times.
Yeah, it was literally just Reese. The rest of us don't see you, man.
By the way, enjoy the next 5 minutes of you trying to put on that armor if you want to put it on.
Wolf's gonna try to put it on before the mic comes back.
Alright. Everybody else, unless you slept in your armor and took a fatigue penalty, it takes 1 minute to put on light armor and 5 minutes to don heavy and medium armor.
Nerds.
Would I have already had it on though if I was already awake?
You could, yes.
Okay.
So Reese is gonna just gently pat Wolf on the shoulder and just
You
say,
leather armor?
Leather armor takes a minute.
Oh.
Yeah. he's just gonna be like, remember what I said, act natural, and
Yeah.
remember your documents. And he's gonna walk back to his room casually
Alright.
to slip back into his armor and stuff.
Yep. And you guys hear the sounds of another pair of footsteps heading up the stairs as we will turn to Lana.
Hello.
Lana, make us pass the fuck out.
Same
Don't
song and
recall-
then.
Yep.
I actually, the question was, did Mika have the usual nightmares?
Uh,
Or did she actually
Yes.
sleep?
no, you're having the nightmares. You can't get away from them, though.
That's
Oh,
the
well,
worst.
I could hope at least.
All right, give me that will saving throw, Mika.
Alrighty.
Oh, Matt.
Yes.
As soon as Reese finishes getting into his armor, he's gonna snap his fingers for the ring.
32 for Will.
All right. So it only takes a little bit of jostling for Mika to snap awake, like she's a fucking PTSD war vet.
Isn't she?
Yeah.
I mean, the fuck, Lana?
Be cool. There's Silver Knights in here. They're asking questions. They're asking everybody for their documents. Just act
Okay.
natural.
Okay. This is. How the fuck? Alright, I'm good. Just get everything
Alright,
else.
we're working on that. I think you're the. I think all we have left is.
And she's gonna like briefly poke her head out the door to see, like, all the commotion happening in the Tomas Reeves room. She goes,
Oh no.
So, for the purpose of just getting this mapped out, we'll say the room order is going to be Wolf, Reese, Lana, the Bumble Boys, Mika.
Tell you what, let me do this in that case. You said Wolf?
Yep.
And I'm gonna use these grids for it. Reese,
That is good.
Lana, boys. Mika? Like that?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Just to keep these in order.
Where'd Lana go? What the fuck?
I might have deleted her token because I deleted all my drawings.
Yep, I think you did.
I'm
Let's get
sorry.
Lana token back. There. Nah, it
I
is
have
all
con-
good.
Lana's so distressed she disappeared from reality.
We're now in order of our rooms, which is just as good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, the guards, one stops at Wolf's room and stands in the entryway, and one
Actually,
walks
she's
all the way
still in-
past to the end
She's still in Mika's room.
to go talk to Mika.
I don't think Lana left Mika's room, so she'd still be in there.
Alright.
She's still
So let's
invisible.
go back.
No. She doffed the hood as soon as she got to Reese, I think. Plus, it's
So-
been like a minute.
Yeah. Bumble Boys.
Hi.
Reeves, as you're trying to cope with coming back to reality, a man in a large silver plate armor is standing over you, saying, I apologize for waking you up, sir, but the situation here is a bit precarious. Would you mind providing your documentation? And are you quite feeling alright, sir?
Can Reeves put two and two together that the reason he's asking is because he looks really green?
Roll me a perception check.
29.
Yep, as you're getting up, you see the smears of peach-colored skin makeup all over the bed sheets, and you're like, fuck, you were also exhausted last night, you forgot to clean off the makeup.
Mm-hmm. He's gonna give like a little bit of a gulp. He's like, not particularly. Had some. I think the liver I ordered last night was not fully cooked.
Roll me a deception check.
Nope.
I see. And you hand him your documentation?
He doesn't really have much of a choice in the matter now, does he?
Not at the moment, no. So, he looks over the documentation for a moment. and then looks up at you and goes, Baldric Underfoot, halfling servant in service of your lord here.
That's right, my lord, Eldred Elleris. No, my lord, Farron, Inarel.
That's definitely what the document says.
Any chance Mika can start yelling something right about now?
I mean, you don't know this is happening.
No, but
To them specifically.
not to them specifically, but she should like do best to be a distraction here to get others a chance to get up and move in. She doesn't
Well-
know what's going on.
She's got a knight in her room too, though. Or
Yeah,
Oh, is
and
there?
Yeah,
Oh,
it
okay.
literally
As-
just turns into your room as you're getting up out of bed.
Oh, I misheard you. I
Yeah,
thought there was only the
and-
one.
That, and I think Lana would mention that like she was the last one because Yeah.
I misheard you then.
Matt, our situation's looking not good, right?
Your situation's looking not good, right? The knight turns to both of you and says, we have reasons to believe that there are a certain number of individuals here under false pretense performing acts of espionage. Either similar in composition to, or at the very least in league with, a couple of figures of interest in Brescia. I'm gonna need you two to come with me to the station. We have matters to discuss.
Reeves is just gonna look towards Tomas, shrug his shoulders.
Wallace will shrug right back. He's like, well, we know we haven't done anything, so well, let's go, I guess.
Alright. And he produces 2 sets of manacles.
That feels extreme.
How
We're going willingly.
complicated do they look?
They're pretty top of the line from what you're seeing.
Reeves just sort of nods at them. It's like, I mean, we're willing to come along with you. There's no need for
Yeah.
that. Unless it's just part of procedure.
It is unfortunately part of procedure. If you are, and hopefully you are not, in league with those individuals, then you would be quite dangerous to be left without these.
Wallace
It is
sigh and
for
roll.
the safety of the people here that I ask that you extend your arms out, and then we can go down to the station.
Wallace will
Well-
sigh, roll his eyes, hold his arms up, like just not too tight, you know, like elven skin. I bruise easy.
He really does he does really bruise real easy. But if that's what's needed for the security of Brescia, then
Alright. So he'll start approaching you guys. So, Wolf, as you're starting to put on your boots in the morning, you hear 2 sets of footsteps going down the hallway, and one of them stops at the door, looking you over as you're just starting to put your armor on, and says, I apologize, sir, but we're making a sweep of the individuals in this building. May I see your documentation?
Throgdat will give the knight a nod, and grab the documentation from the table next to him, and stand and hand it to him.
See. Alright, one Sir Throgdot, temporarily in service to Lord Eldred Elris. Would you mind giving me a brief summary of why you're here? I just want to make sure it lines up with what's on the document.
He's gonna cock his head a little bit to the side. Work for Eldred. I just protect. That's what Throgdot does.
Alright. I need you to give me a deception check, Wolf.
Can it not be intimidation?
You can roll an intimidation check if you want.
Wait, can I actually use intimidation instead?
Yeah.
That
It has a higher check, doesn't it?
We'll see, won't we?
Matt sounds too excited about this.
God, he's so excited about this.
Nathan,
Roll high.
YOLO.
I have to. I have
Fucking
to.
YOLO,
Roll,
Nathan.
roll high. Roll high, my friend.
Do it. Not
That's okay. Probably not enough.
0 point.
Oh. Okay.
Oh!
That's unfortunate. So, as he's talking to you, Wolf, you stand up and start trying to tower over him, looking him in the eyes as you say that. And he just looks up at you, his eyes unflinching, as he goes, "Sir, you may be a Hell Knight of Brescia, but am I to understand it that you are trying to intimidate a member of the Silver Order protecting the peace on this island in service to our kingdom?"
That depends, Knight. Do you feel intimidated?
Oh my god.
Oh no. Nathan, I love you.
Sir, I'm gonna have to ask you to put your hands behind your head and stand up against the dresser.
Why? Why?
Nathan, I love you.
Fuck.
It's okay. Jeffrey, we got Nathan with us. It's so wrong.
Oh
I should know when not in use, skeleton key is always inside of Reeves.
Yes, I know. So,
Gonna-
so Wolf, what you doing?
I'm gonna need some goblin help after this.
Jeffrey, don't worry, I've got lock arrows.
Wolf's gonna take a moment to glare at the knight for a moment longer, sigh a bit, and then listen.
Alright. So, he tells you you can leave the rest of your possessions there. You will be free to return and pick them up from the inn, as long as you, as long as their questions pan out. Otherwise, they will send a knight and have your belongings sent back to the Black Keep for processing.
That's ominous.
And then he puts you in the manacles, wrenches your arm a little bit as he pops the second one in for good measure, and tells you to sit on the bed and wait for a moment while he goes to talk to the other individual in the room next to you. You're still sitting in your Black Knight booties.
Did he only get his boots on?
Yep.
Did you say he's... Where did they take him?
He's just sitting on his bed with his arms tied behind his back.
Oh no.
Very upset.
So, Mika and Lana. I love you, Nathan.
So they hear the guard approaching, right?
Yes.
All right. As he gets close, Lana's gonna scramble for like a bookshelf and try to find like a Bible or something and pull up a chair.
Yep.
And then,
a few books sitting there, so.
Roll me a performance check, Lana.
Yeah, she's okay. She's gonna take on her best Reese posture. Hero point. Okay. She's gonna take on her best Reese posture and just go. And so, as with all things, forgiveness is the key to moving forward after everything we've endured. forgiveness. Well, blah blah blah. Sermon.
Yep.
Reese's gonna be the only person that doesn't get arrested.
Except your servant just got arrested, man. You're
I'm the
fucked.
last one that should have got arrested.
You would give it to the guard.
Mm.
Sir, I have some questions with you. Fuck the cops. Okay, sir, I guess we're doing it this way.
I can break these cuffs.
Please don't.
Hold on a second, just tase his wolf in the nipple.
Aw.
Alright, so anyway, guard at the entrance to year 2's room.
So it's. Wait, who's going right now?
Mika
Us.
and Lana.
Okay, so Mika's not actually putting on her armor. She's putting on the nicest outfit she's got on in there, and her blacksmith like apron, like the leather apron thing. And
So as you're finishing getting dressed, the guard appears at the doorway and says, I apologize to interrupt both of you, but as you may have heard from some of the other questions going on outside, we have reason to believe that there were a number of individuals involved in some various forms of misconduct last night that we need to have investigated.
Oh, is this about those alarms that woke me up last night?
huh, I didn't hear anything. This inn has some good stout, but
They
that's
lit
not
up near half the. They lit up near half the town.
it's a good
Did
stout.
they?
Did they actually
That's
live in half
curious.
the town?
Ah.
Because the alarms were only in the Noble District last night. You know, it's curious that you heard them. Lana, you still have cat ears out, right?
Yeah.
Because the officer at the scene reported a dwarf and a tabaxi woman, or perhaps maybe a half tabaxi woman, at the scene.
Well, there's probably a couple of tabaxi in this town, but the lady here and I were chatting pretty late last night over matters of philosophy, so I don't see how it could have been her. By the way, if I'm assuming you're looking for papers, can we
That
make
I
this a
am.
little quicker? I've got meetings to get to. And she'll pop out her papers from her back.
Yep. Lana will just sift through her bag and pull them out. She keeps them on her.
Alright. Looks over them and says, yes, I understand you must be quite busy, being the only other dwarf on the island, other than the Master Armorer.
He is who I spoke with yesterday. He does some mighty fine work, and I've been exchanging of trade secrets and, well, I guess not secrets, but techniques and methods here that are a bit unique. So that is why I am here. For Trerigrith Forge Granite at your service, sir.
He nods in response to that and says, yes, that is certainly what you have listed on the documents here.
I would certainly hope it is there, because that is my name. Is there anything else you
Is
would like
it?
to know?
Because we had reports from all of the guards regarding recent arrivals to the city. Where did you get your hair color changed, madam?
Pardon you, sir, but this is my natural hair color. We Forge Granites pride ourselves.
Is it? Because I believed that the officer that met you described you as having a different hair color when you arrived 2 days ago.
Fuck.
I apologize, but I've spoken only with a couple of you boys since I've arrived here, and I'm afraid I don't recall your name or any of the others.
That is because we typically do not give out our names, madam.
Well, that is all well and good, but if you're going to quiz me about my hair color, seems rather a waste of our times. I would like to get to my appointments this morning, please. The farmer does not have a lot of spare time.
Unfortunately, madam, given the suspicions about your seeming knowledge and the strange occurrences regarding discrepancies in your appearance, I believe that we're going to have to ask you some further questions.
Alright, if I may have my papers back, please.
You may. And he hands the papers back to you. And then says, I must also ask that you put your hands out in front of you. And he goes to retrieve a pair of manacles for each of you.
That's hardly a dignified way to treat anybody here.
Well,
Let's stick our hands out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll just think.
well, I have nothing to hide, so let's just handle this with decorum.
And she will do the same.
Alright. So, Reese.
How long is the guard in the room next door?
Probably about 30 seconds to a minute.
Okay, so Reese would have time to put his armor on.
Just
Probably.
barely.
Yeah. While he's putting his armor on, can he also, like, use prestidigitation to reorient his makeup?
Yes.
He's good.
Alright. So, a guard stands at the entranceway and looks at you and says, Good morning, sir. May I see your documentation?
Oh, of course. And produces it. Hands it over.
Good. One Lord Eldred Oris, correct?
Yes. Well, L red. There's you put an extra D in there.
My apologies. Did you hear the commotion in the next room?
The next room where my guard was.
Correct.
I did hear a little bit, but I must admit that I was a bit preoccupied with making myself presentable, of course.
Same.
Has he
Well-
gotten himself into trouble?
Yes, he has.
That's most unfortunate.
Indeed. We were confirming his information yesterday, and rather than answer my questions, he thought it befitting to try to intimidate a member of the law enforcement.
Well, that is absolutely unacceptable and unprofessional behavior.
Fuck the police.
Excuse me, sir. And he just cuts to like just 15 seconds of him beating Wolf.
Ulrich is like, oh, this feels dirty.
No.
Throgdot just yelling ACAB the entire time.
God. More like AGAB. All cards are bastards.
Could you tell me where you were last night, sir? We're just trying to confirm everybody's whereabouts as of last night.
Reese will relay the name of the restaurant he was at,
Mhm.
and then he'll say, I was there until, and he'll give the approximate time, and he's like, and then I wandered the entertainment district. Theater's a passion of mine. And then I returned to the inn late in the evening and retired.
Alright, give me a deception check.
Got the ring going. This is gonna be a big number. And I still have a hero point.
What do we have to now?
44.
Oh, fucking
Amazing.
In which most of the game,
I
but not
see.
all, goes to jail.
Reese solo rescue mission.
I see. And he watches your face carefully as you speak before nodding at that and says, That lines up with the information we had. Very well then. You're free to go about your duties. One moment. And he produces a small noteboard and writes up a quick slip and hands it to you. And says, We'll be taking in your guard for questioning for the time being. So long as everything is in order, he'll be returned to you within the next 12 to 24 hours. If you have any questions, feel free to come down to the barracks. That slip will let them know which of the prisoners you're there to speak about.
Thank you. Though, between you and I, if he's so unprofessional, perhaps I should be looking for another guard.
Perhaps that is the case, sir, but
Have a fantastic day, and thank you for your service.
he just nods to you at that and goes to retrieve Wolf. And the 5 of you are going on a fun escort out of the inn.
Oh boy.
Yay!
Gently closes the door and then quietly goes, "Fuck."
Shite.
Alright, let's go on a fun little adventure.
Woohoo!
I realized way too far into that I still had a hero point. But this is more fun, honestly.
That 44, though.
Yeah.
Mwah.
Chef's kiss.
You gave me too much power, Matt.
I know. I bully Reese in combat. I have to give him something.
He did so good.
The poor boy.
Okay. Okay. So, let's take a quick 5-minute break as I move all of your tokens over to the next map, and then we can pick back up.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, indeed. Unfortunately, if you wear armor and were not awake at the start of the evening, you do not have your armor at the moment.
Okay, which means my AC is down by...
Whatever the item bonus on the armor is.
So just 2. Okay, that's not bad.
Tomas and Reeves is not as bad. Wolf, you feel naked. You're scared.
Wolf has his booties.
That does not give him an armor bonus.
His feet are safe.
Wait. What about my bracers? Do those kick in?
They do, actually.
Wait, can we do it like that? If I'm not wearing armor, those actually kick in? Or would that be kind
Yeah.
of busted?
No, that's actually how they work.
Okay.
Wait, so no item bonus. Okay, so
So
it would be just my dex and my proficiency bonus, or... Yeah?
Correct, because you're proficient in non-armored, too.
Okay, so that means I have a 27?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Just -1 then.
Shit, that's not bad.
I just mean
God, why don't we go
my...
It should be -2 for both of you,
Is it -2?
because your armors are both +1.
+1.
My armor's +2.
I haven't.
Oh no, wait, that's right, because both of you fucking goons have an armor penalty, a max dexterity lower than your fucking actual dexterity.
Correct.
Yeah, our cap is
Okay,
4, but our
so
dex
you
is
each
5.
lose 1 AC, you fucking gremlins.
Well, no, I still have my armor on.
I think I
Oh
lose,
right, Tomas is a cryptid.
I lose 4 AC because it's my item bonus, I think, right?
Yep.
Ouch.
Dex,
Look at
dex
my
buddies!
If we just dodge out of it, we don't need armor, right?
Basically.
That's what Lana's been doing.
Uh-huh.
Oh, are we having an adventure yet?
Yeah.
Sounds like we're about to.
I need to get a drink.
Just Reese being like, God fucking damn it.
Yeah, basically. He's like, what the fuck am I supposed to do now?
Did Wolf hear what Reese said?
Did you hear Reese's betrayal?
Roll me a perception check, Wolf.
Very unlikely. He kind of whispered it.
Well, the very last part he whispered.
Wait, the part that where you should get a new guard?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I won't go for it if you whispered.
Well, the rest of it he said.
Well, it's the part where you need to find a new guard, alright?
It was an act. Sensitive baby.
Wolf doesn't know.
That's fair. Reese is a very good actor.
Listen, you have laid,
about it.
Reese has laid his affections in 3 people, 2 of which are dumbasses.
Praying for this.
The one that isn't is Lana.
Yep.
Leo is a baby boy, baby.
But I'm
baby.
just like, guys, Reese did not abandon you. He's saving himself.
He was acting. He is an actor. He went to college.
Oh shit, Lana, you right for
Did go to college.
you. Man, I just threatened all my teachers.
That explains so much about Tomas.
Dude,
It really does.
Matt, that fucking TikTok where the girl threatened to sleep with the teacher's wife if he didn't increase her grade.
Yeah.
Tomas more of a degenerate than Reese is. Tomas is the one with the stereotypical bard backstory.
I mean, I honestly forget if it's a joke or canon at this point that Tomas did mushrooms with Reese's dad.
I think
Sam
it's
thinks
canon.
it's
He
canon.
said that.
Canon now.
It's funnier if it's canon.
Tomas
Yeah,
said
just-
that.
Yeah.
And then his dad was like, "Do I know you from somewhere? I don't remember the middle of my life."
Same, dude. Same. You know, like the 110s, those are really fuzzy.
Haha, yeah, the 110s, and he just looks around back and forth. Just like, haha, I forgot 2 centuries of my life, whoops. Alright. Is everybody good?
I'm great.
I'm
Yeah.
eating cake, but I can hear you.
That's good. So, while you all are being fun escorted to your new home by your new friends, Reese, you're in the inn. There's nobody else there anymore, and the day is going by as normal. What would you like to do?
Cries and Reese. Reese is like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Oh, God.
Just think to yourself, what would Tomas do?
No,
And
he's
do
not
the
gonna think
opposite.
that. Well, yeah.
He doesn't want to tackle out of the window now that the threat's gone.
They'll be fine, right? No, they won't be fine.
Have you met us?
He's gonna look at the slip of paper in his hand, kind of pocket it, and be like, okay. Why are my companions such bad actors? Oh my gosh. Dude. This is hard.
Yeah.
Thanks, Matt.
Do you want to think on it for a little bit?
Yeah.
So, it's time for you guys to do the time for doing the crime.
They got no evidence.
We have a lot of evidence.
Probably not on Reeves, aside from the fact that he's not what he appears to be.
A little bit of evidence.
I mean, going to, like... Imagine going to a diplomatic neutral zone and you just have somebody else's passport.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I've got a plan.
Haha.
Alright. So, after the guards all escort you into your cells, the other 4 of them head out. After talking quietly amongst each other for a moment, leaving you with just the 2 that conducted the room sweep to look over all of you.
What was the situation like on the way in? Did they see much of that?
This mostly looks like a small resting barracks and holding cell. There's no like formal barracks outside of it that you walked through. This is a separate building next to it.
Okay, but what's like the situation outside of that?
Like in the city as you were walking over.
I'm more referencing how heavy was like security, how many guards were around this building, things like that. Things that Reeves, as the fucking criminal he is, would pay attention to.
Yeah. So there's from what you can tell, there's another contingent of probably somewhere between 6 and maybe a dozen at most guards in the adjacent building. It's a little distance away, and depending on the time, they aren't actively watching this building from within inside as you are entering, so they might not even be on watch, but there's a chance you could be seen if you're not stealthy when you're leaving. The area itself is pretty close to the main road, but it is a pretty open courtyard between you and that road, unless you try to get around the side, which would require hopping a relatively tall, stone wall set up around the perimeter. You were escorted in by 6 Silver Knights, 4 of which have left for unknown reasons. Ignore the dogs on the map; those don't exist.
Cool.
Also, you are not in the chains on the floor; those don't exist either.
Okay. Cool.
All right. So, after bringing all of you into the area and having you put inside your cells, locking the doors behind you, they do a sweep over all of you. And ask, so, are any of you ready to tell us what happened last night?
Imagine the 5 of us just looking between each other rapidly.
Yeah. Lana is specifically going to glance over and try to make eye contact with Reeves and see if like he's got like a plan or like thinking about anything.
Reeves, when the guards ask, just sort of shrugs and asks, what specifically are you referring to, officer?
We're asking regarding the events of espionage last night in the Noble District.
Well, my lord and I were not in the Noble District.
That is quite curious, considering I'm a bit intrigued, actually, regarding you in particular.
Mm-hmm.
Who exactly are you?
Baldric Underfoot.
Don't say half-foot or underfoot. It is very plain you are not a halfling, sir.
Well,
And trying to sneak into a diplomatic zone under false pretenses with forged documents carries a very hefty price. Delaying that by playing inevitable will not help you in this scenario.
How much does Reeves know about halfling and goblin physiology?
Enough to know that goblins are very much not halflings. Halflings tend to have larger feet and more human-like proportions, except for a larger head and larger feet.
What about coupling?
There have been reports of some some quarterlings, as they're sometimes called. They are much rarer than half races.
Okay. But like a halfling goblin mix probably wouldn't look like Reeves.
No, you'd have a much paler green color and larger feet and more humanoid features.
Okay. Trying to think of how Reeves wants to play this. I think he's going to say. It's like, well, I don't know what the deal with the rest of these people are, but hi, my name's Reeves.
Then it is as we suspected. And he looks back over his shoulder to the other one. Have one of the patrols rerouted back to the inn. The sixth one was who we suspected. It looks like we know who the mage is.
Hey, Matt.
Yeah.
Tomas is gonna flip him off.
It is a pleasure to meet all of you.
Likewise.
Well, wait, is this Bard, Matt?
Oh yes, very much so.
Is the guy that detained? He's in here, right? It's the same
Yeah.
guy. Well, okay. Wolf is gonna walk up to the bars like this. He's gonna hang his arms out like he's just relaxing on them, and he's gonna look straight at that guy.
Your arms are still manacled behind your back. They didn't
Oh.
remove them.
Wolf's gonna do the tat without doing the arm thing, and just be like, "When I get out of here, I want a piece of you."
Sir, I assure you, you're far less threatening behind the cells than you were in your room.
He's
And
just
I
gonna
didn't
smile
give
at
you
him.
much of a chance when you were in your room.
Just gonna smile at him. It's all Wolf is doing right now is looking at this man.
Can Reeves run his hand along the wall?
Yes.
It's a distraction. Use it.
I can feel Lana and Mika internally screaming.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Mika was gonna try
Um,
something, and then with that, she's just like, well, fuck.
Oh yeah, let me
Uh,
swap the music over while you guys are doing that.
Can he get any of that resonant thing that he had at the cave? He's trying to reach back and find that sensation.
Roll me a arcane check.
He's not trained in that. No.
Yeah, you try to reach out to it, but it still is an uncomfortable, distant feeling for you. You can't grasp that theoretical state again. It seems like
Okay.
you had a bit of help at the previous instance.
Mm-hmm.
There it is.
He's actually gonna kind of eye the walls a little bit. Just kind of look around and study how new this building looks.
Hell is this from?
Octopath Traveler.
Nice.
Oh.
Oh yeah, it is.
This is not the music I expected for a prison scene.
And it's just the guards are on to music.
I gotcha.
So,
Sons of the Patriots.
as far as you can tell, this is a fairly recent building, probably within the last decade or so.
Okay. So it doesn't look like it's been around for too terribly long, so not really any wrecked areas or any of that. Or not wrecked, but
Worn.
Yeah, wear and tear.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Well, Lana's gonna glance over towards Reeves again and just kind of watch him for a moment. And she's also gonna try to buy a bit of time and just go, well, I guess since there's no need to act around it anymore, that makes things a little bit easier for me. I was too uppity before.
Yes, and it makes things considerably easier for us as well. Feel free to relax however you can in there.
So how
The
much do you guys know about?
Sorry.
So how much do you guys know about us then?
We were briefed on your exploits.
Yeah, the fact that we're doing your job for you.
Yeah, we're big damn heroes.
You are free to think of it as however you want.
Have you guys located the sin yet?
He doesn't even regard you, Reeves.
That's a no. Yeah, that's a big no.
Yeah, they're really bad at their jobs, Lana.
Yeah, well.
Scared of a fucking question.
No, but what we have found.
Are the people trying to find the sin? Yeah, we know.
It appears they think themselves clever. Fine. Enjoy your accommodations. We'll be bringing food and water for you as needed. Once he's done with his affairs for the day, you'll have a visitor, Bracia.
Oh, fun.
But as enlightening as this conversation has been, and I mean that genuinely, he looks at you, Reeves. We have other activities to attend to.
Alrighty.
Like finding the sin, right?
They start heading out of the room. He gestures for one of them to stand guard by the entrance.
How transparent are the cells?
The gaps are just big enough to maybe stick your hand or wrist through, so it's partially obscuring, but not enough to hide where you're standing around or any big movements.
I mean, is there line of sight between this guard and us?
Yes. All the walls in those cells are iron bars between them.
Okay.
Well, he's just gonna wiggle his skinny ass like right over here to try to like cause more obscurity.
Lana's gonna like quietly try to mutter under her breath a message to Reeves. It's like,
what do you got? You gonna try to get us out? What's the plan?
Well, I can, but we're gonna have to wing it.
That's fine by me.
And Lana will join in the efforts to try and obscure the vision of Reeves as she just goes,
You know, I've been meaning to try to talk to some of you silver guys. I've been pretty curious about y'all since you just showed up.
Roll me a deception check, both of you, to distract them.
22. But Lana is actually genuinely curious about the silver guys.
32.
32. Alright. So he glances between them. exactly are you so curious about?
Well, Well, let's just start with your name.
My name is irrelevant while I'm in the order.
That's unfortunate, isn't it? Everybody should have a name. Why don't you think your name's important?
Does a name help defend your countrymen?
It helps you remember what you're fighting for.
Also, like, if one of your partners is like, hey, watch out, and there's like 5 of you, how do you know who's gotta watch out?
I mean, he's got a point, but
Do you regularly pause and scream back and forth at each other to look out?
it's happened more than you'd think.
I've told Lana to punch people in the nuts, so yeah.
Yeah.
That
The
sounds
kidneys.
about right for you.
Doesn't really speak too well to your willpower to just let them take that from you, does it?
Well, come on, you can give us a little something. Where are you from?
I doubt he's gonna answer you, Lana. Their heads are
Well,
as empty as that armor.
I'm gonna keep trying, because
You got
there's a
face?
person. There is a person in that armor.
Not
I know it's
anymore.
true.
They gave
You
that
don't
up when
know
they
that.
talked to him.
You don't know that.
I'm just really curious if he's got a face.
How does my quick unlock do?
Was that the 27 you rolled?
Yep.
Trying to pop the manacles off?
Yes. He's gonna try to produce skeleton key into his. He's gonna try and produce skeleton key into his hand to try and get the manacles off.
The lock seems to be made of sturdier stuff than you were expecting. A 27 is not enough to get the lock off.
Okay. Well, while they're continuing to do that, he's just gonna keep trying. 38.
38 will do it. And roll me stealth for using the distraction that the others are giving you.
Let's see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, Sam.
Jelly just messaged me in all caps, why the fuck you get arrested, y'all nuggets?
Oh,
I
Just
outed us.
25.
Alright. So, he looks at you, Lana, in response to your latest question about something, and then sees Reeves in the back of his cell fiddling with something just over your shoulder. What are you doing back there?
He hasn't completely taken the manacles off. They're now just kind of
Unlocked,
Locked.
yeah.
Yeah, he's just gonna slip skeleton key back inside, and it's like, it's just, and it's just like, I'm just standing here.
Roll me a deception check. It will be modified because of Tomas's efforts.
Let's see, 26.
Let's see. Alright. And check something else. Okay. You guys hear conversation over in the next room. And the man starts moving closer to your cell, Reeves. Says, "Is that so?"
You can come check if you. Yeah.
Come here and show me your manacles. As I said, we've been briefed on you.
If your brief is as good as your armor, then I'm sure you know all sorts of fun things.
How close is he to the cell?
Still trying.
About 5 feet away.
5 feet away. Okay, he'll just approach. Like, they're unlocked, they're not unclasped, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. Roll me... What'd you roll? To pop at a 38?
Yep.
So, he looks over them for a moment and doesn't notice any obvious signs of tampering. And says... And just watches your face for a moment. Before it says... Fine, but stop your fidgeting. You're gonna be here for a long time.
Seems to be
And
the
he
case.
goes and pulls up a stool over here. Get a better angle at all of you.
You never did answer the question about where you're from. If you won't
No,
give
I
us a name, you
didn't.
can at least give us that.
I
Oh,
told
come
you.
on. You said we're going to be here for a while, and there's nothing here to entertain ourselves with, so we might as well have a chat.
You might find entertainment in that.
Most people do.
Are you
He doesn't
afraid
respond.
people like us? 'Cause, like,
He
you
doesn't
know,
even
are
laugh at
pretty
that. He's
charming.
unresponsive.
I told you they lost their brains when they took on the armor. No use.
Do you think he just powered down?
I think that might
He
be
just
the
kind of
case.
stares at you as you say that, Tomas.
I feel like the
Well,
golems
it's gonna
I used
piss him off again.
to see had more personality than that. They at least can think a tiny bit.
Alright. So, I'll let you guys think over what you guys are doing here for a little bit as we swap back to the boy.
We're heckling. I feel like that seems
I
obvious.
figured
Yeah.
out what I
I
want Reese to do.
I feel like heckling is the only solution we have.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hey, you slowly are making progress with Reeves.
Reeves is our win condition for this, I guess.
Reese is gonna slip out of the inn.
Alright.
Are there any guards at the entrance?
No longer.
Okay. He's going to head a bit north, and then he's going to try and duck into an alley.
Alright.
And then he's going to cast Disguise Self to look like one of the nobles he saw in the restaurant last night. Using his Mask of Disguise, so he can duplicate an appearance.
Yep, I was about to ask what level you were casting at. Good
Yep.
catch. Alright. You are now random Bressian noble. Or random elven noble, your choice.
Bressian's
Mostly
fine.
Bressians on the island.
I feel like Bressian Noble would be better.
Yeah.
Okay. And he's just going to casually make his way back to good old Arthur's house. Just in that direction. And see if there's any guards.
There is currently a guard patrol moving through the area. They don't seem to have anybody obviously posted at the building, though.
Okay. Reese is going to watch their rotation and then try to slip to the back of the house when they're not looking.
Alright, roll me a stealth check and a perception check.
Stealth first?
Perception first.
Okay. 35 for perception.
Alright.
The stealth roll is going to be bad. I can feel it in my bones. Eh.
It's okay.
Not bad enough. You feel your heart pounding through your chest as you slip by in the gap in their patrols. And as you get closer to the back of the building, you don't hear anybody following you.
How tall is the hedge wall?
The hedge wall is probably about 8 feet tall.
Okay, so he's obscured right now.
Yes.
Okay. Can he tell if the door is locked?
I would need you to make perception check.
Okay. Figure the alarm's still on, but 32.
It does not look like they had the keys to relock the mansion. They just rearmed it.
Perfect. That's what I was hoping for. Reese is going to try and use Dispel Magic to just dampen the spell on the door long enough for him to get inside.
All right. So give me that spell roll.
Pretty sure that is just my attack bonus. Natural 20.
Perfect. So it's a little trickier to hold it suppressed for a moment and then let it go, but with the adrenaline rushing from your toe tips to the top of your head, you take a moment to focus, pause the spell, calmly and fluidly open the door, slip inside, close it behind you, and drop it.
Okay. Gonna head for that secret passageway
Alright.
after activating my compass.
Okie dokie.
And once I'm in there, I know that they were headed for the prison, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna think real hard and see if I remember a way to get towards the prison.
Roll me a survival check.
Well, I wouldn't have known offhand. I don't
It's
think,
just
right?
a general direction.
Ah. Oh no. It's like one of the only skills I think I'm not trained in. Because I think I picked up another one when I
Just
leveled
roll
up.
high.
Did I not pick up? I picked up nature. I'm an idiot. Whoop. I'll have to roll real high.
So the prison is roughly east, but it's hard to tell if the tunnels are going south or southeast or southwest after a couple of minutes of walking.
Okay.
So it's hard to tell exactly where you are. You know what direction you generally need to head, but not exactly sure how far you need to follow the main path or when to split off.
Okay. Do I have any memory of these tunnels at all? Like if I rack my brain?
Give me a will saving throw.
Come on, baby. 24.
Alright. So you pause for a moment and try to think back, and you feel like you're about to hit a wall, and then you feel the ring pulse on your hand like a heartbeat, and the fog fades away.
Oh shit.
And it hits you like a spark. Sudden insight, a flash of innate knowledge of the underground tunnels. Not enough to know where everything is, but the rough area around you. You think you have a general idea of where a tunnel that heads maybe not directly into, but near the barracks is.
Okay, gonna head that way.
Alright. So, Reese begins traversing the tunnels. Okay, let's swap back to over here. Alright. So while you guys are trying to provoke the guard outside of the cells, are you guys trying to do anything else?
Did you switch the map?
Sorry, I forgot to pull the player tab.
Lana's objective is definitely just, trying to pull the Silver Knight into small talk and just like, yammering and just
Yeah, me
trying to poke him, just be like, oh come on, you can open up a little bit. There's a person in there, right? Come
Mika's just
on.
gonna insult the shit out of him, doesn't care.
Same.
Alright.
Yeah, Toss is
Anybody
helping
trying to
Mika.
provoke a reaction, give me a deception check.
All right.
Hey, Matt!
Hmm.
Axolotl.
Oh.
Hell yeah.
35.
Tomas would be really good at provoking people.
Flat 10, because I am not trained in deception.
Alright. So, every so often, he'll glance around the room, but his eyes seem to lock on you longer for a moment, Tomas, as he's studying you for some sort of ulterior motive, as you're just dropping. You're having a lot of fun racking your brain for all the most horrific insults you can think of in Elven to insult this man.
Tomas switching between every language he knows.
You're quite amusing yourself.
Yeah, actually.
So who is coming to greet us?
I believe that you've seen him in passing once before. The Dwarven ambassador and his retinue will be arriving shortly to join the discussions.
Dwarven retinue.
Funny, I thought they were dead. No dwarves on this island, huh?
Not many, no. And his gaze locks on you for a long time, Mika, when you say that.
She'll stare right back at him.
You doing anything specific over there, Reeves?
Um,
It seems like his attention is very focused on Mika and Tomas at the moment.
okay.
Mika's gonna keep looking at him like, you know what happened, didn't you? You know what he did?
I'm
I
more
do.
curious how you know.
Word gets around.
Not that word.
We have friends in high places.
Reeves is going to attempt to pop the lock on the cell.
Alright, roll me a thievery check.
Hmm. 28.
28 is just enough.
Oh, okay.
The manacles for a higher check.
Okay.
See, your lot is, a little bit, ah, fuck it. You guys are heavy-handed. Not too many people like you. Word gets around.
Okay. Does he seem still very distracted by Mika?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He's going to attempt to slip out.
Alright. Roll me a stealth check.
You see, people take notice when friends, family, others just up and vanish. And in their place, just a bunch of empty tin suits. Looking for something. Not being terribly useful. Just taking more people. Word gets around. That's why I can't believe you're anything left in that suit. 'Cause if you were, well, you wouldn't be here now, would you? You wouldn't have let them do that to you. Or maybe it was easier. Don't have to think. Nothing left in there, but, pair of ears and a mouth to parrot it off. And a stick.
You're free to believe whatever you want for the time being.
Oh, I intend to. Just keeps on staring.
Mm-hmm. Right. In a 40 stealth, he does not see you slip out, but you are in the open, so if he ever turns his gaze, he will see you.
Oh, that's fine. He's going to attempt to quick unlock Wolf's cell.
Alright. Roll me that check.
37.
Alright. So, you manage to pop Wolf's cell open.
He just gives Wolf a big goblin grin.
He gives you an orky grin back.
So
He's going to attempt.
Sorry.
He's going to attempt to pop Wolf's manacles as best as he can.
Alright.
So what?
43.
Hell yeah.
Jesus.
Christ, man.
Alright, the backlog of luck is getting in your favor at the moment.
So what do you believe then? You believe what he did was right? You think all the dead are worth it when you found nothing? And we're doing your job for you.
I believe they made their choice, just like everybody else will.
You're not giving them a lot of choice, are you now? Just doing
We
it
don't
for
have
'em.
many choices left to make, despite what your gods might be telling you.
Oh, my gods don't talk to me.
I would imagine not.
You don't even remember mine. So, as far as
I-
I'm concerned, you don't get to put words in her mouth.
I don't need a
Mine-
god to tell me what's right.
Mine's just a fucking jackass.
And I most certainly know that what you lot are doing is not right.
Is there anything in here for Wolf to use as a weapon?
Let
Wolf
us
is a
see.
weapon.
Yeah, right.
Well, not in the same way that, you know.
They kept some basic weapons by the entrance of the building as just a backup in case the guards needed them, but not within this room. The only thing in here beside your cells are like the bowls that they would drop food and water into, the table, and the stools.
Well, Wolf?
Wolf might make an attempt. Oh no. Oh no, this is gonna get real bad.
Hell yeah, let's do it.
Okay, here, so Wolf's is gonna kneel down with Reeves real fast. Reeves, how fast can you get those doors open?
I'm gonna get Lana first, because she can actually punch.
If I can somehow get a hold on him, I'll give you enough time. Do you think you can do it?
That's what I want.
Matt, what do I have to roll to get to this man and restrain him?
That would be a surprise round of you using your action to get up to him and then making a grapple check, which is athletics versus his save.
Okay.
Come on, Wolf.
Alright.
Come on, Wolf.
You can
Wolf's
do
gonna give a
it.
nod to Reeves. And then I guess just charge at the man and try to get a hold on him.
Alright. Roll me an athletics roll.
Come on, Wolf.
Oh, baby.
He still has a 0 point, right?
No.
He does
No?
not.
No!
Oof.
So, Wolf, you charge for him, but in a snap, he gets up and grabs your arm as you lunge and just smashes your face into the side of the table and tries to pin you. And he starts trying to call for the other guard for assistance.
Reeves is just gonna run up and try to pop the lock on this door.
All right.
Lana's already like sprinting up.
31.
A 31 will pop the lock.
Is Lana still wearing her gauntlets, by the way?
She is wearing gauntlets. She is also in manacles.
Yeah, that's I know. I was just making sure she was still had those.
All right.
These are quick unlocks, so.
Yep.
He's gonna try and pop Lana's manacles. 28. Not that round.
Not that round, unfortunately.
Yeah.
All right. So, he keeps calling for assistance, but oddly enough, nobody comes to the door to answer.
Huh.
Can I make a move to get out of the grip?
You can roll me an athletics check to escape.
I think
Oh. Are you?
Hey.
I'm done. I quit.
Hey, man.
So,
Oh.
Wolf, as he's distracted, you pull back for a moment, and I will let you have the choice. Do you draw his weapon, or do you pull him into a pin?
Oh!
What's his weapon?
He has a broadsword at his hip.
I go for the sword.
Fuck yeah!
So you got Lana. You see Wolf pull back, get his hand on the guy's sword, and kick him away, drawing the weapon out
Hey,
in
man.
turn. What's up?
From my cell, can I hunt target this fucker?
Yeah.
I'm gonna hunt target him and be like, Wolf! Wolf! Get him in the joints! And I'm going to ward and spoon him.
Hell yeah. All right, Wolf. You have a single multiple attack penalty and 2 actions left.
What is the
Treat it as your great sword without the +1. Sorry, with the +1 still. So it's the same to hit. It's going to be less damage. I'll look that up while you're rolling.
Okay. Yeah, Wolf is gonna do at least one slice. More of a stab.
Your negative to hit is a minus.
Oh shit! That's right. Hold on, let me roll
It's a
that.
minus. It's only a -3.
So that'd be 30 full?
A 30 to hit. If that is the case, that just hits. So, following Tomas's advice, as he's rearing back, he goes to swing on you, but you catch his arm and slice up through the joint of one of his arms before dropping him and pulling back into a combat stance. What do you want to do with your third action? Roll me damage. It's going to be 2d8 plus strength. +2, I think.
Plus strength.
Replace your d12s with d8s and it's the same thing.
Oh, okay. So I guess that.
Alright. So you deal 15 damage to the man. Okay. I will work on updating that. What do you want to do with your third action?
Wolf is gonna go to make a swing, but instead gonna try to grab him to give Lana time to come help. And so he can't run away.
Gotcha.
That would be an athletics check?
Yes. It is going to be a 6 off. So at -6 on the athletics check.
Okay. Oof, rough.
Yeah, unfortunately you're not able to pull him. Process. He is still a feisty boy.
Is it the door to our cell, me and Lana's, is open, right? Because he's got working on Lana's cuffs.
Yes.
So are our hands in front of us? Because that's originally what you had said.
Yes.
Okay.
Everybody but Wolf had their hands in front of them.
Can let's see here. Can Mika get up to the door and kind of muscle past him and just shoulder check into the dude?
Yeah, if you want to boulder roll him.
Basically, yeah.
Alright, yeah, go for it. Is that a save I make or a roll you make?
Boulder roll, step to shove.
Where's all that talk now, knight?
Can
Yeah.
roll fort versus my athletics, but he'll take damage. I need to actually pull up the entry for it here. Pretty sure I've got that bookmarked.
Fortitude.
Here we go. Must move in the space behind it. You get to attempt a fortitude saving throw against my athletics DC to block my step. If they attempt it, unless it critically succeeds, he'll take bludgeoning equal to level plus strength.
What is your athletics modifier?
18?
Alright, so he isn't pushed back, but he does take the damage.
Okay, so level plus strength modifier, so 14 damage.
Alright.
Lana just hangs out and waits to get out of cuffs.
Alright. Reeves, you're up.
It's like, oh my god, I was like, oh Lear, these cuffs are so annoying.
Deep breaths, deep breaths. It's okay. They got this covered for us.
Deep breaths. And Lana's free.
It's like, that finally.
The moment that she's free, Lana just like gives an appreciative thumbs up as she snaps at him. It's like,
Reeb's your hero.
and then she just gets up in here to give this man a flurry to the back of the head. Just a normal one though.
Roll me those hits, Reeves. I'm assuming you're moving on to Tomas. You can make those two checks.
Tomas
Cool.
is gonna yell at Reeves to go get Mika's hands free. He's good. It's
Okay.
up to you, but I'm fine in here.
Mika's just charging into the dude.
Tomas and Wolf. No, not Tomas. Lana and Wolf are also there. If more guards come in, I need you out. I need you out of there, buddy.
Punch, punch,
Oh, that's
Matt.
not fair. Fine, we'll get out.
First one is gonna be a crit with all the modifiers in play.
Hell yeah,
Second
And-
one is a miss, unfortunately.
that's fine. +5 now. Right.
Door, then things. Alright, Tomas is free.
6, 'cause her item.
That's all over there.
Yeah. So there's that for the punch, and this man needs a fort save to not be stunned.
Guess who failed their fucking fort save?
Oh no! How bad? How bad, Matthew?
A natural one, bad.
Oh,
Fuck
no.
yeah! Stunned 3! Lana just gets him in the back of the head and just like ices him for a second.
Alright. He is stunned and all of you are out of your cells. Do you want to keep going with combat or do you have other plans?
Lana's looking around. Is there equipment anywhere in the building?
No, they left all of your equipment at the inn.
Okay.
I feel like we should run.
And what?
We can't.
Oh,
There's
We
too
can't-
many.
Yeah,
Right,
we.
Reeves
Yeah.
knows that.
Yeah. Tomas, we can't leave him conscious.
oh, that's fucking. I can't do anything to him. I could just make you guys hit a little bit better.
What are the odds we get back to the inn?
Oh,
Low, but it's all we got.
well. Okay, keep punching him.
Gladly.
Alright.
Making a charge into his ass again.
Alright. So, as you guys continue trying to fight him off, you hear the door to the south pop open. And you see a tall, crimson red haired elven man in light clothing with a sword at his hip walk into the room and look around and go, I am increasingly glad that I put up a barrier around this first. It's good to see
How-
that you are making good time on this. You have friends in the elves. I recommend we make this quick. Allow me to assist you.
Hi.
Do
Hello.
I
Oh.
recognize them? By chance?
You recognize this as one of the aides to the High King.
Okay.
I wonder how that happened. Sweats.
I wonder indeed. So, let's save us some time real quick, because this man's gonna get bullied for a bunch of rounds otherwise.
Yeah.
He just fade to black. He goes down, punching sound effects.
Punching sound effects, spell blade goes off, punching, stabbing. Okay, he's unconscious.
I keep his sword.
Yay.
Unconscious or dead?
Unconscious. Lana would
Unconscious.
throw a bitch fit if anyone tried to actually murder him.
Okay. So, he
Well,
is
I-
unconscious.
Well, I mean, Lana, I guess you make a point. I already blew our cover, so
We can't start killing our own people. I don't care what anyone says. There's a person under there.
I've given up trying to fight you on these ones, Lana. Leave him unconscious. It's fine.
I'm not gonna
Yes,
put on
and I can assist to an extent on that. Would you mind standing aside, please, Madam Dwarf?
Alright. Reeves, you wanna get me out of these things?
yeah.
And as Reeves fiddles with the locks for a second, he pulls up one of his sleeves and starts doing an arcane chant as he just pushes his hand etherically through the man's helmet and into his head and starts moving things around with his hand for a bit. We don't have much time with this, but it should erase everything within the last hour or so, as long as things are going well. Hopefully that ends up being enough.
Do I have to make a roll for Mika since we're out of combat?
No.
Okay.
Now that all the theatrics are out of the way, Valentra Zumin, aid to the High King of the Elven Lands. As much as I would love to have a long drawn-out conversation of introductions, we have approximately 60 to 90 seconds before their next patrol passes within visual range of this place. I recommend we leave.
Yeah.
Following.
Yeah, meet and greet later. Lead the way.
So, following your new assistant from the High King, all of you slip out of the building underneath an invisibility sphere that the man pops, and you all slip away a little bit deeper into the city before the spell fades, and we begin discussing the next steps. So as you guys break ground on the facility, Reese, you finally come to the end of your tunnel, and there is a ladder leading up to a trapdoor about 5 to 10 feet above you.
Okay. If I climb the ladder and put my ear against it, do I hear anything?
You hear distant chatter, but nothing within like 15-20 feet as far as you can tell.
Gonna hesitantly lift to the top of the trapdoor and just peer out.
So, as you pop open the trapdoor, it looks like you're coming out of a storm cellar from one of the back alleys of one of the buildings. And looking around, I need everybody to make perception checks. And I mean everybody.
Okay.
35.
29.
39.
37.
I'll put mine in there.
20.
So as you guys are heading away from the prison grounds, Wolf and Reese, you guys lock eyes. As
Reese,
you
like-
just see Reese climb out of this fucking storm cellar.
The Reese
Sorry,
gives
you
the
see
most
a
confu-
Sorry, a random Brescian noble climbs out of a storm cellar in a back alley.
Aren't we invisible?
The invisibility has dropped by the time this is
Oh,
occurring.
okay.
Reese
Wolf?
is gonna use sending to send a message to Wolf real quick.
What's the message?
Hi, you're looking at Reese. I'm in disguise. What's going on? I thought you were under arrest.
We broke out.
Reese is gonna drop his disguise and climb out.
Oh, good, you're out. We need to go back and get our stuff.
Oh, hi!
Hi.
That.
Apparently,
Oh.
I know how to navigate the tunnels now.
Oh, good.
Tunnel? Babe, can I have my bow?
Yeah. Yep. Reese is gonna pull out weapons that people gave him and hand them off. I guess our cover's blown.
Yeah.
Yes.
That it is.
Great.
Unfortunately, between the, I'm sure, what I'm sure is unrelated misdemeanors that occurred last night and the various telepathic communications that they've been tapping into, it seems that they are aware that there are a number of fugitives on the island.
Wait, telepathic communicate. What?
Bastards.
They can do that?
If they set up a big enough field to catch it, yes. Believe it or
Wow.
not, they put quite a bit of effort to make sure that spies aren't secretly on the island plotting to assassinate world leaders.
You know what? That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, our work here isn't done yet.
And what is your work here exactly?
Can't you know
Looks-
what the sin is?
Yeah, heard of
Looking
it.
for a demon, a very powerful demon.
Kind of blinks at that for a moment and kind of looks over all of you to make sure you're actually being serious.
Yeah, it's been really difficult to find, which doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but yeah, what he said.
Curious. Do you know what kind of demon? And you guys are stealth quickly and quietly moving through the city, I'm assuming, as you have this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
a
it's a walk
great-
and talk.
A greater sin?
I am unfortunately unfamiliar with that variety.
Well, it's very important that we kill it.
These things are way too dangerous to just do whatever they want.
Especially with the peace talks going, and considering what we know about the Bressians.
Yeah, your retinue might want to try to find a way to get off this island.
Yeah, the Bressians don't like representatives from other countries staying alive.
That is concerning, but not unexpected, considering the observations we've had over the last few days. Do you happen to know what the extent of the abilities of this greater sin that you're looking for are?
We don't know much about it, but it's powerful.
Powerful enough to influence a city.
Possibly.
Yeah, probably.
Out of curiosity, besides the guards so far, how has your reception on the island been?
Pretty good.
Pleasant.
Well enough.
I was supposed to have breakfast this morning.
I don't think
Yes,
that's...
well, unfortunately, it seems that that plan is changed.
Yeah.
But did any of you encounter resistance in your initial searches?
No.
Not
No.
particularly. No.
No.
Complete lack of knowledge of anything odd going on, but no resistance.
Would you invite me to breakfast?
What?
Tomas,
Come on!
Tomas!
I feel like that's a point, and most people wouldn't invite me.
Yes. Well, I can't say for certain what your... Sorry, this is Matt thinking. I can't give an accurate estimate of your diplomatic charm. I do find it curious, however, since we've arrived, there's been exactly absolutely zero resistance on anything that we've discussed with anybody.
You mean everybody's just been super agreeable?
Yes, unnaturally so, even though some of that contradicts our reports of several of the individuals on the island.
Such as.
Jerks not being jerks from the sound of it, right?
Yes, we've been trying to keep an eye on things. Considering some of the cover you went under as, did any of you speak to the armor smith?
I did, actually, yes.
How was he?
He,
Talkative? Friendly?
he seemed to be such, yeah. We were discussing the silver armor and the lack of it being made here.
Indeed, and that's quite curious for a man who's so, despite his skill, very hesitant to talk about anything other than business, especially to other members of his trade. Can you stop?
Huh. A smith,
Okay.
a smith who didn't want to talk to other smiths. He
Okay.
talked to me just fine.
Okay, so a dwarf was is usually a bit more disagreeable.
And up until this morning, did any of the guards give you a single second look, regardless of what information you gave them?
No.
The Silver Knights were the first.
We passed
I
by
mean-
Silver Knights before. They did,
They didn't start looking our way until we touched that house in the theater.
Ah.
Yes, everything on this island has been suspiciously passive despite the diplomatic pressure that should normally be here for these events. I've seen a great many number of these in my years, and none of them have been quite so calm. This one. Eerily so.
Have there been any faces at the talks that we were surprised to see? That shouldn't have been there.
We thought it odd that the king sent a representative in his stead. He's usually pretty agreeable to these, based on discussions we had in the past. Sounded like he had to drop out at the last moment.
Well, he's
What's the
kind
name
of.
of the representative?
Some lesser noble. What was his name?
Oh. Reeb starts to describe Eber.
No, not him. I would have known if it was the general. One Lord Hargrave, I believe it was.
that name sounds vaguely familiar for some reason, and I don't know why.
Didn't we have dealings with a Hargrave around the Millstone area?
Did we?
Possibly. Let me rack my brain for a moment. Are we any closer to the end, by the way? 'Cause God, I want my hammer.
I think it sounded like Reese brought, stuff
I never,
with him,
I
right?
had never given my weapon to him. I don't
Oh,
think.
fair
It was
enough.
when we snuck into Moss, gave him his shit.
Yeah,
Oh,
but I
okay.
had all my stuff. I kept it on me. And
Re-
my...
Reebs doesn't have his. He did not give it to Reese. He hid it on his person, but it would not have been attached to his arm.
Got it.
Say my armor
Okay.
and weapon is like basically all my stuff is back at the end. I didn't give anything to Reese. I don't think.
Same.
Yeah, the two fighters need their shit.
True that. True that.
I legit had no other way to hide it.
Has anybody been asking suspiciously? It could be that this sin is hidden amongst the people at the talks.
Perhaps, and if he did, he's fitting well in with the others. A passive, agreeable lot. Definitely not what I expected when we were pulled to these events. I expected the usual power plays.
Have we heard of this Harkness person before?
I don't know
You
how we.
haven't. You were thinking
Oh.
of Harnsey.
Oh,
You said Hargrave?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I have notes about a Harkus, but not who died. But I haven't found a Hargrave yet. So I'm still digging in my notes.
It's not one that I've brought up to my knowledge.
Gotcha. Okay.
Reese is gonna look at him and say, "Can you describe him?"
Tall, slender human, brown hair. I believe his crest is green and yellow. He's one of the lesser nobles from the Faircrest region. The capital.
does that sound
Right.
does that sound familiar at all?
That sound familiar to me?
No.
Didn't think so. Okay. Double checking my memory. Is there anyone that got here before everybody else? Because this has been here for a while.
As far as we can tell, you're the newest arrivals other than us.
This one's been here for a few weeks, at the very least, probably a month at the outset, if not longer.
And wasn't Eber stationed here like way before earlier too? Yeah. Or like
I think I said Eber stationed men here to replace the initial knights, but not that he was here himself.
Oh, okay. And how long? I mean, and that took place like right around when we unlocked the nodes, which was like what, a month ago?
I think about, yeah.
A month or so.
Yeah.
Maybe closer to a month and a half or 2 months, because you've done quite a few of them, and you usually take week breaks.
Yeah.
Maybe this Hargrave person is the Sin.
Or at least know something about him.
Potentially. And if what you say about there being some greater demon here is true, that is concerning for security purposes.
Just a wee bit.
Indeed. Let's get you re-equipped and meet back up with the king and the rest of his escort. Figure out what to do from there.
Sounds good to me.
Faster
So,
the better.
with a bit of guidance and group effort, you guys manage to sneak back towards the inn. He gives you all the group disguise self.
Veil.
He veils you guys up as Silver Knights to go collect your gear from back inside. And then once you have all your possessions with you, you guys start following him towards the manor that the High King is currently residing in.
Reese is gonna change his hair back. And into his normal clothes.
Gets her armor on.
Yep. Lana definitely looks very visibly relieved for a moment when she's got the Dawnblade back.
Mm-hmm.
Monster scoops up his bag full of poison. He's like, oh, thank fuck.
Okay. So, you guys all reconvene at the estate.
Are Reese's parents there?
So,
Oh, no.
as you start approaching the manor, give me guys perception checks.
Perception. No.
High five, Kevin.
Yeah.
So anybody that rolled above a 30. As you approach, you realize this entire section is eerily quiet. Nobody seems to be paying it any mind, but nobody is approaching it, and there is no noise from within the building up ahead.
Lean over to the escort here. Is this normal?
No, it isn't. and he picks up his pace and gets his hand on his weapon as he approaches the front door, rests his hand on it, and when he realizes that it's unlocked and slightly ajar, throws it open and moves inside the building with his weapon being drawn. You hear curses in Elven as he slips inside.
Lana immediately goes in after.
So
Is
does
it him
Reese.
cursing in Elven or other voices?
He is cursing in Elven.
Okay.
And you soon see why.
Oh, hot
Oh,
lady,
no.
no.
Wait, who was
As
that?
the other elven
Guard.
bodyguard, the one that was previously identified as the guard to Reese's parents and one of the other guards to the High King, is brutally pinned to the wall by a spear, and several other elven guards are dead around the room, and there is no one else in the building.
Tomas will quietly swear in Elven.
Reese is immediately going to cast Sending to his father. And he's going to say, Dad, are you safe? Where are you?
So, you feel something almost like a string between you and the target. It feels like somebody puts pressure on it, and you feel a slight mental strain. And you hear a hollow voice respond. We have your parents. We look forward to seeing you very shortly. And the line is severed.
Fuck. Does it sound like one of the knights?
Yes.
The knights have my parents. And possibly the king.
Those cowards!
Okay. The elf starts looking around the room for any sign of where they went. There's time to be angry later. It's only been a short while since I left to retrieve you. They can't have been long.
Unless they're watching the place. Where would they have gone? Where's their base? Besides that barracks we were in.
There's a few barracks spread across here. It's difficult to know where they would have gone from here without any sort of tracks.
How fresh does the scene look?
Anybody that wants to make that check, give me a medicine check.
Alrighty, I'll do that.
Can I substitute nature for Lana?
Yeah, because you're natural medicine.
Yeah.
What
Medicine?
about survival?
28.
I will make you make a survival check, but only if you want to look. If you want to use that to gauge the like how recently they died, I would allow that as well.
Would I be able to use survival to see if I could tell where they went?
Yes,
like
you can try to
anything
look
like
for
that?
tracks while people are checking for how recent the scene is.
I'm going to assist Tomas with survival.
Alright,
Yeah.
give me a survival check then, please.
Just a 20.
That's a successful aid, though,
Okay. I'm
because
gonna
aids
hero-
are always 20s.
I'm
Oh,
gonna hero
okay.
point that.
Okay.
It's a 33 on my med
Okay.
check.
It is a 38.
Wolf is gonna work with Mika on that.
Okay, a 38. And Mika was a 33 med
Yes.
with Wolf assisting.
Yeah.
Okay. And what were you doing, Lana? Looking at the wounds as well.
Yeah, just kind of getting a measure for how recent it was.
So, with Wolf's assistance, Lana and Mika look over the wounds. As expected, they don't look more than 10, maybe 15 minutes old. The blood hasn't even started coagulating, and there's no signs of rigor quite yet. But these people are beyond saving at this point, unfortunately. And Tomas,
Mm.
what did you roll again?
A 38.
So, as they finish looking over the supplies, you catch the faint imprint of a heavy metal boot with the faintest traces of blood heading out of the building.
Guys, this way. And he's gonna start following the trail.
Reese is gonna immediately follow him.
Yeah, hasn't been more
Yep.
than 10-15 minutes. We can catch him.
So, following Tomas's efforts, you guys are led to a nearby manor across the street, and it looks like they headed inside behind a locked door. You hear nothing moving within the building.
If I were a bunch of ambushing tin cans, what would I do? You can't just run in shooting. There's a decent chance they'll just have... yeah, we'll harm innocents if we get in there. Just run in blasting away with magic and weapons.
Are there any windows?
What?
Are there any windows?
Not on the ground floor.
Hold on. Reese is going to gently coax out Allegro.
Yep.
Be like, I know I haven't pampered you lately, but this is really important, okay? Are there windows on the upper floor?
Yes.
Are any of them open?
It looks like one of them is cracked.
He's like, alright, you see that window up there? Try to get in. And he's going to let Allegro go and cast Familiar's Face as he puts a hand on Tomas's shoulder. He's like, I can't see anything when I do this.
Gotcha.
It takes a moment for his tiny bird body, but eventually he is able to become a bird-shaped liquid and squeeze through the opening and pop inside. You don't see anything else. You don't see any people in the building. It's largely empty.
They're nowhere in the building?
Not as you're moving around the upper floor, at least.
Okay, I'm gonna have him try to quietly and slowly go downstairs.
It takes a little bit, but he does quietly descend down the stairway, and there's nobody on this floor either.
I'm gonna mentally see if I can have him look for any sort of trapdoors, secret doors, anything like that.
Roll me a perception check.
For the bird or for me?
For you.
Okay.
You're just having Allegro look around for you.
34.
So, in the back of the pantry for the kitchen, you find another trapdoor hidden underneath some supplies that look to be recently moved aside.
Okay. Reese is gonna call Lego back and look at Wolf and be like, kick in the door. There's a trapdoor.
Alright, Wolf, are you kicking in the door?
Yes.
Alright. I'll let you make that roll. You have assistance from Reese being Save My Parents mode. Let's do this. Don't
I
roll
can
on that one,
relate.
you goon. Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Wolf kicks it 10 feet in, just horizontally across the room. The door is now open.
Reese is gonna go inside and immediately head for the trapdoor and be like, this way.
We're going.
Matt, does he have
Yep.
memory that this leads to the tunnels?
Give me another wills check.
Yep. 34.
34. Yes.
These are those tunnels we found. Okay.
The same one you popped your head out of?
Yeah, they all connect under the city. They were... Commissioned by me. And he's just gonna climb into the trapdoor.
But
Ross is gonna
later.
sweat really hard.
He's gonna turn on his compass again while climbing down.
So, you're now in the tunnel system. What'd you guys like to do?
Tomas, can you track them down here?
Yeah, I can give it a shot. That's a 32.
Alright. It's a little bit easier to track them down here without the heavy traffic from above. You can see scrapes against the hard, rocky earth beneath you from several sets of armored footsteps moving through the area. It looks like most of the blood is gone, but it's fairly easy to track the individuals at this point.
Can I tell where we're headed?
You can. Feels very comfortable.
Comfortable.
Yep.
The theater?
No.
No. The
Feels
house?
warm and inviting. Maybe. It's hard to tell exactly.
The theater was a red herring all along.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
figured it was. But I can't tell what it is immediately. It just feels familiar and warm.
Yes.
Okay. I guess we just keep following.
Indeed. So, you guys begin to move onward through the passageways. You press deeper, and eventually the cavern system begins to widen a bit more. And after the third or fourth sub-passage you take, the floors begin to become a bit cleaner, becoming more deliberate. Beautiful stone tiles and mosaic patterns. And as you approach, the walls begin to become more deliberate, almost as if walking down a hallway towards some sort of structure. And you see two large wooden double doors, brilliantly engraved, inviting you deeper inside. All it would take a little push to move them ajar.
Do I recognize the doors?
You do.
We're just gonna kind of stare at them for a moment.
You okay there, lad?
Yeah, I just recognize the doors, that's all. No big deal.
Oh,
The elf gives you a suspicious look real quick, but he has more important things on his mind at the moment.
Oh, well, this is way off. He's like, he says a lot of weird things lately. It's okay.
So, what would you guys like to do?
We're going
Guess we
in,
need to
right?
go in.
So, as you push open the doors, you see a beautiful entryway with a balcony overlooking the entrance. Several doors split off into side passages, and a large central staircase leads up further into the building. It looks almost, if not more, beautiful than some of the noble mansions that you saw on the surface. The torches flicker brilliantly in the light down here. The entire estate brightly lit.
This is still underground, right?
Indeed. And standing to greet you on either side of the stairway leading up. Another half detachment of knights. 6 of them, with their hands on their weapons, watching you as you enter. But something else is odd about the scene. Despite the pristine nature of the building, you see these odd tubes snaking across every surface. Translucent and filled with this deep purple, almost wine-colored liquid. Slowly coalescing into a web almost that threads into the main doorways at the top of the stairway. The liquid slowly trailing outward through the tubes into several of the side rooms that you cannot see into. You hear a voice, a muffled scream from the top of the stairway. A female voice. And then it's quiet. And the guards watch your every movement. Before the red elf puts his hand on the hilt of his weapon and says, "If they're holding the king here, we can't afford to waste any time. If I give you an opening, you get up those stairs before they follow you."
Yes.
Then for the king. And he unsheaths the blade and casts a quick spell under his breath, blinking across the room and striking the guards before they have a chance to react. His form explodes in a thunderous wave of magic, creating a quick opening as they're stumbled back about 15 feet from the force of the explosion. They try to ready their weapons in an attempt to block him and you from advancing, but there isn't enough time. If you try to take the opening now, you should be able to easily make it to the top of the stairs before they have a chance to catch you.
I guess we're taking it.
Yeah,
I guess
Reese
we're taking
runs
it.
for it immediately.
Alright. Once you get past them, the man retreats slightly to the stairway, trying to cut off their advance so they can't all surround him at once. Buying both himself a defensive position and you as much time as possible to do needs to be done. And as you head up the stairs and through the room, you see the cables snaking across the room. Spreading through the doorways and around, coiling about as this strange liquid flows through it. All of them collecting on a single humanoid figure, riddled with tubes buried into his flesh as he lays comatose on the bed before you. And Reese, you recognize that man. The man from your dreams. It's your manager. What would you like to do?
I don't see any sign of, like, my mother or anything.
You can see a door on the far side of the room, beyond the bed. You cannot see what lies beyond it, though, for it remains closed at the moment.
What is this?
The tubes were, I think I missed where the tubes were all coming
The
from.
guy on the bed.
I mean, they're feeding into him, but they were coming from where? They were just like all over the place?
Yeah.
They were snaking throughout the entire estate, leading some liquid out of him elsewhere.
Oh, out of him.
Yep.
So is this the same person I saw in the last dream, or no?
This is the same person you've seen in every one of the dreams I've given you. The man that wears the navy and indigo colors. The same flags you see draped on the walls of this estate.
Don't know who he is, but I think he needs to die. Miko kind of started advancing over.
Alright. Feel free to move your tokens however you would like to across the room. You may proceed as far as here.
Well, I'll kind of hang near the back, I think. Just kind of watching everybody else.
For once, Reese is there.
Miko's marching on up.
Yeah.
Unless I went too far.
Nope, that is the limit of where you can move. Where are you doing, Tomas? Hanging out right there still?
I'm gonna... Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
I might move up a little bit onto the stairs. But yeah, I'm good.
So, as you step forward, Reese, everybody make me a perception check.
Perception. Oh, jeez.
20.
Natural 20
30.
for a 40.
35.
Okay. Anybody that rolls a 32 or higher. You hear a sharp inhale as Reese takes a step forward, and the eyes of the man on the bed snap awake, his body tensing up. And those that rolled a 30 or higher can feel their hairs stand up on end. Know that sensation where you've run your feet across the carpet and you can just feel the static in the air?
Mm-hmm.
You feel that across your body. As the man pulls himself up onto the bed, the tubes shifting uncomfortably around him. As he stares you in the eyes, Reese, for a moment, his face shifting into a snarl. Of all the people to wake me from my rest, I didn't expect it to be the coward hiding behind his mask. Was it not enough that I clipped your wings, little sparrow? Are you simply foolish enough to believe that you can beat that grandmother around just because I'm in this state? I don't make mistakes twice.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm here for my parents.
Oh, and what parents are these? The parents of that mask? Or another? I don't keep track of them. Only your lies and deception. And Tomas, you feel a shift of wind as the door behind you slams shut.
Are there any tubes on the floor near where Mika and Reese are?
Yeah, they're usually like pulled taut around corners, and you see a couple of them shift, and several of them pull free as he pulls himself out of the bed. His body limp and loose as he pulls himself upright uncomfortably and looks across all of you. And you see his brilliant blue eyes shift, and the pupils grow narrow and long, almost like a feral cat. And he goes, You won't escape a second time. You and all of these people are going to die. And that's where we're going to pause it for the night.
Yahtzee.
Yahtzee.
Hey, we found the
Yes, indeed.
demon.
Uh-huh.
We found the demon.
Found the demon.
One
I
more
wonder-
week fit.
No fucking wonder he was so fucking hard to find
He's taking a nap.
in an underground fortress. Fucking piece of shit.
Did he?
You guys did accelerate things by poking your nose around things a little quicker than I was expected. You guys went hard pretty quick. I appreciate it.
I couldn't quite understand what you said. He said something about grandmother. I didn't. Couldn't you muffled up a bit?
Yep.
Yep.
He said, "Do you really think that you can beat me a second time without grandmother around?"
Ah, okay. I thought you said, "Could you beat my grandmother?" I'm like, wait, what? That didn't sound right.
No.
Okay.
Wash out your ears.
The only one that has any concept of what that might mean is Reese, who's probably having a fucking heart attack right now.
Oh
yeah,
my God.
yeah, he is.
I didn't wolf pog at all during this. There were so many wolf pog moments.
Aw.
Yeah.
We get to punch stuff next time. I'm sure there'll be plenty of wolf pogging.
There will be.
Thank you, Matt. I have no idea what's going on.
Hi.
Hi.
I really wanted to add more flavor to us beating that guard down to Wolf just punching him in the face while he was down and talking more shit, but I figured we should probably push on.
Yeah, that was a scene where you were gonna win that fucking fight. So I didn't want to drag it out for too long. But I'm proud of you guys with that jailbreak. I had backups in case you got hard locked in there, or there were a few of you people that couldn't get out, but you guys did some fucking good work. That was just speeding the process up at that point.
The fucking jailbreaker was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
I loved how I was trying to find a way to be sneaky and help, and I was useless.
No.
Hey,
You're never useless, buddy.
I didn't
you
get caught.
going that route means you got to reconnect with them. Otherwise, this would have been a fucking nightmare getting you guys back together.
That was a funny turn of events. I have a feeling I wasn't supposed to make that check.
Yeah. I definitely appreciate the opportunity for Reeves to be like, haha, I always have a solution.
It was good
Yeah.
working with you, Reeves.
Nah, you guys going to jail and breaking out was great. I fucking love that.
I also just really
The
love
gang
Lana.
goes to jail.
Yeah, basically.
I love Lana being nice, being like, hey, you're still a person, and Mika and Tomas are like, hey,
Yeah, nope, fuck that guy.
you fucking suck.
Lana wants to know what the fuck is up with those guys.
So does Mika, but she figured being an asshole would get his attention, so... That she really does, you know, pretty much figures they're got lost cause at this point, so... Was
Nah,
entirely full of shit.
Reese is angry.
yeah.
Fucked with his parents.
Mm-hmm.
I knew you were going to.
Angry
Felt it
Reese is a good
In my
Reese.
soul. Like, Matt's
I
gonna
would
do some shit.
never.
Don't.
Matt has never messed with a character's family member ever in his life.
Except he just did.
Yeah, I didn't make Wolf kill his dad.
or my brother.
Oh,
You know what's
boy,
fucked?
sweats.
Or
That wasn't
Reeves'
even really
entire
my arc.
family.
That was just a general arc for like.
Yeah.
It's fucked
That
up.
was a little baby arc to get you used to Matt.
Sweats nervously.
Haha.
As you should.
Get ready, you have a lot of family. That's a lot of daggers.
Oh, I know. I am very much not
Both
looking forward to
figuratively
this.
and literally.
I am so not looking forward to this.
Get fucked.
Yep. Nope. That is a guarantee.
Now, this I've been planning for a long ass time. I'm so excited for next week.
Is it next week now?
No.
Oh.
Sam really wants to know what's going on.
You got it.
Hopefully we should be able to play at normal time. I may need to push it out like half an hour to an hour or so, depending on issues because I have to do a Friday night deployment starting at 5. So I'll
I
keep you
can-
guys updated.
I can play as long as necessary on next Saturday. Oh no, hold on.
Friday night.
Friday night? I work at 8 the next day. That's not a big deal.
Yeah,
So,
I've got
I'll
a.
be fine.
Yeah, I should be good because the next 2 weeks after next, I'm not gonna be in town, so.
Yeah. So we can get through this fight and then take a break while Vit screams at me for 2 weeks.
Maybe someone could find like side conversation Mika into a clue by 4. See how this next goes.
I sent Vit another conspiracy theory.
Did you?
I did. Reese is just Reese, and all this like mystery about him not being himself is just like somebody fucking with him.
Yeah.
God, I wish. That'd be fucking hilarious.
That would be something Matt would do, wouldn't it?
Like Reese crumbles away and it's just Reese.
God, he'd be angry.
God, that was anticlimactic.
Fuck Brianna.
It's just Reese with green hair.
God, he'd hate that.
Uh-huh.
It's like,
Okay.
ugh, my taste was shit. No wonder she hit it.
No, Reese is white and he's like, ugh, gross.
Oh. But yeah. Now we get to have fun.
Fun.
Isn't intense, serious Reese super fun?
It's like, I don't give a shit. We could lockpick the door, but I have another idea, Wolf.
Honestly, come on, it's just proud that more people are utilizing Wolf's feet.
I mean, you guys have your own built-in speech device.
God, I'm so proud of Wolf both going to jail and getting out of jail.
Jesus, him going to jail was fucking legendary.
I loved everything about the lead up to Wolf going to jail.
I'm gonna be honest. I was so I was determined there. Like, even if you would have killed my character, I was gonna commit. Wolf would not
Sir,
have
are
let
you
that guy.
intimidating me?
I love how I thought I would know more this week, and I'm just more confused.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thanks, Matt.
No problem, champ.
Oh, God.
But next week is fun. We'll get to figure out so much.
Yeah.
Will we? You said that last week.
Press X to doubt.
Hey, you did find out a lot. You found out where the demon was. He was taking a little map.
As they were approaching the door, could Reeves have set up a hampering trap in front of the door?
Like on the on the outside.
Yeah.
If you
Or
want
will-
to take the 6 seconds to do so.
I think he would have, just because it's like, yeah, our friend seems pretty capable, but just in case.
Yeah. Alright, just make sure that you note that you're down 1 hampering snare for next week.
Alright, stop the recording here.